TD Podcast here with K Morg.
What's up?
Mac. And B's back in the building. Welcome back, B.
Thanks, man.
Damn, sports are back.
Sports are back and B's back, so it's a good day.
Sports are back and B's back.
I'm happy to be back.
Playoff basketball. We'll get into Blaine's absence in a bit. It's actually a good transition for us into one of our segments. But start with drink of the day. Well, what do we got today? Let's start with B. What do we got?
We're drinking a Stella.
A Stella.
Yeah.
Stella's good beer. I haven't had it in a long time.
It's good beer. We picked this beer. It's a top 3 beer in England.
For the theme.
Very nice.
For the theme.
There's a theme behind it.
Yeah.
London. We're going London theme.
We're going to drink a pint.
Yeah. It's a pint. Drinking a pint of beer.
Drinking a pint of beer.
A bloody point, mate.
Well, a pint.
Are you guys Stella guys?
I like Stella.
I'll fuck with Stella.
I'm not going to lie, this is my first Stella.
Really?
Really?
First ever.
Take a sip. Tell me what you think.
First ever.
Yeah.
I mean...
Hey, a foamy Stella at a bar. Frosty.
Yeah.
Especially in like the fancy ass
Chug
cup.
half.
Yeah, just chug half.
Yeah,
Do you remember like
get
you
that
and,
down.
Max chugging it? Do you remember like forever bars would just have like a cool cup just for Stellas?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They still do.
They still have that?
And it says like Stella on the side.
Yeah, they still have those.
Good marketing. Great marketing.
Great
Yeah.
marketing.
Stella, reach out. We have a bunch of them on the table.
Sponsor.
Back, what'd you think?
Not bad. It's not bad.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's like,
It's really smooth in my opinion.
yeah, I was going to say it's really light. I'm
It
not
is a light
expecting it to be that light.
This is my first Stella out of a can.
Especially for like a Belgian beer.
Yeah,
It's
we
pretty light.
saw the cans had to get it.
I've
It's
only
usually
had,
bottle
I've
or
had
tap.
bottle or tap. Have you had a can
Super
before,
light.
Matt Morg?
I don't think so. What was it? What did you call me?
I was saying K Morg, but it just came out Morg.
Mac Morg.
Mac Morg.
When he acts like a bitch, I just call him Morg.
Yeah.
K-O.
Shit. What are we? A minute in, he's already emotional. Some Bengals.
Gotta go. So Stella fits the theme of our first segment, which is the film doctor. We're going to go a little reverse today and start the film doctor. K Morg, what do we got?
Yeah, so quote of the week last week was, "Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody." Daniel Baylor out of Riverside, California is our winner. Again, really quick with the gun. Appreciate the listen. Appreciate the follow, Daniel.
Really quick.
Really good. Yeah, impressive. Again, like I said, it wasn't exactly an easy quote either. So, but
It's an underrated scene in Dodgeball.
yeah, and it's not exactly Vince Vaughn or Ben Stiller's best movie. People don't know them for this. So, again, guys, movie was Dodgeball. Again,
Great
everyone
movie.
that chimed in to kind of guess it, but Daniel's first. And Daniel's movie review that he wants to talk about is Green Street Hooligans.
Love this.
Fucking love it.
Dude, I grew up on this movie. It was my older brother's favorite movie.
I could see that. That makes a lot of sense.
It does, right?
Honestly, I didn't know that, and that makes so much sense.
Oh yeah, no. This he grew up with this shit.
He wanted to be Pete.
On forever blowing bubbles
Yeah.
all the time in high
Down the-
school.
down the
just went to
streets.
scrap.
Yeah.
I actually, B actually showed me this movie. That's
Yeah.
how I first watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a great movie.
K Morg, what'd you think?
Great movie. Again, like I said, we all talked about it. We've all seen it. It's one of those movies that isn't widely known as a great movie, honestly. And so I consider it to be kind of an underrated movie for
Yeah,
the most part.
I
Not a lot of
agree.
people know about it. Not a lot of people love this movie. But if you are into, the sports, the fighting, the drinking, the bullshit, the talking shit, you know what I mean? It's a great movie.
It's
a great
just
movie
it's
for
a
this
man's
podcast.
man.
It's a great movie for the podcast. Yeah, we talk about what we do. Roadhouse 2 weeks ago. This
Yeah.
falls right in
Yeah,
line.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah, when he put that, I was like, oh yes, this is perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
we were all
solid.
fired up.
We were all fired up
I
on
was like,
that.
this is where I fell in love with headbutting someone.
I'm pretty sure you said
Yeah.
you want to throw a brick at somebody.
Oh yeah, no, let's chuck bricks.
Drink a pint of beer.
Let's drink a pint of beer
Drink a pint.
before the game
At the pub.
Get hyped.
Yeah.
All right, one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie. So they're at the soccer game, football. They're at the game, and he grabs one of the on-field security
Media
jackets
vest,
and
yeah.
walks over to the other side, and he's just sitting there in front of the whole fucking rival
motherfucking
firm.
everybody,
Saying,
yeah.
"Fuck you, motherfuckers!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a Blaine scene.
You know what? So, a couple things from this movie, but one is it's an underrated movie, but it's not like there's not good actors in it.
Yeah, so obviously
Charlie Hunnam,
who is, I think this is his first big movie,
a.k.a. Jax Teller.
Jax Teller, and
Yeah.
he for little known fact is he actually got the role from Jax Teller from strictly this performance in this movie.
Knew that.
Like
Knew
Kurt
that.
Sutter saw that and was like, "This is Jax Teller. This is the star of."
Shout out Kurt Sutter for finding that.
Shout out Kurt Sutter. Yeah.
Well, what a find.
Yeah, what
It
a
made
guy.
him into an American biker from an English Like,
Yeah, you watch season 1. It's a little rough on the accent,
It is.
but it gets better.
It is.
It gets
Yeah,
better.
no, he does good.
I
So-
think we need a Sons of Anarchy segment at some point down the road.
That'll
on this.
take a
that'll
that's
take
a
a minute.
season of our podcast.
yeah, that's
So-
gonna be a fan favorite.
So anyway, but moving on to the other actor, you have Elijah Wood, and here is where a lot of people he got a lot of criticism for this movie because they didn't feel that he is exactly like the actor that's maybe tough enough.
Tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's-
you don't
that's the
look
word
at
I would
him.
use.
a bit gay. A bit gay.
A bit.
You don't look at him and just see like this guy's gonna get into a street gang
But
or a
isn't that
street
the
firm. Sorry.
Isn't that what's so sweet about the movie that
right?
he
He's
shows
a Harvard. He's a Harvard journalist. He's
Yeah.
a journo.
He's a fucking
Journo.
journo. He's a
Journo.
fucking journo.
Fucking journo. So yeah, he's a Harvard journo, and then but he's gonna join a gang, and it was like Elijah Wood looks like he's 13. You
Yeah.
know? So that's
Yeah.
where a lot of people give him shit. I personally think he did a pretty good job. You know what I
did
mean?
good.
Like
I thought he
I
did
think
a good
Frodo-
job.
Frodo
his-
to the streets.
Well, I think his naiveness
Street Frodo.
in the movie is great. I've always considered him like a more cheesy, naive character, and it kind of fits. It kind of fits.
I thought he
it's
did
super
great.
cheesy,
And then
super
the
naive.
first scrap when he's throwing punches, like he doesn't know how.
Overhand?
just flailing,
Just throwing overhands.
flailing.
flailing.
Overhand hammer
flailing,
fist.
And then, like, he gets punched in the face, beats someone's ass at the same time, and just, like, realize,
Well,
like,
what's your
oh,
line?
fuck,
What's your
this is
line that he
life.
says? What's your line that he says that you
Oh,
love?
when I think it was right after one of the rival gangs was waiting for him at the bus station,
Yeah.
and they get off and exit earlier, and they're so outnumbered, and they go in there in the moving van, they jump out, and they're like, "Fucking this scrap!"
Yeah,
before the
scrap.
cops come, and he says, "When you get punched in the face and realize you're not made of glass, you want to test those limits."
Yeah, that's
I was
hard.
like, "That's kind of
Fucking
hard."
That's a
Yeah.
good
That's
scene.
fucking
Yeah.
And
hard.
it's Elijah Wood, but like I said, he caught a lot of slack. He got a little bit of slack. Street Frodo caught a little
Yeah.
bit of slack on that one. But again, I think it's a great movie. We didn't get too much of the actual review, but yeah, Harvard graduate or Harvard dropout actually kicked out of Harvard, goes to London, gets involved with a little street gang.
Where would you rate this along other kind of like street fighting movies? Or, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many of them, and I guess they're all in their own kind of category, but would it say one of your better ones, or do you think it was just kind of in the middle of the road for you?
It's middle of the road to high,
Okay.
I would say. It's not exactly like, I'm not putting it above the greats.
Yeah, and I'm trying to even
But-
think of a category to put it in.
It is one of,
It's
it's
like-
one in its own.
Yeah.
It is. But, I mean, a movie that's based around fighting is kind of where you
Right,
throw it.
the based
Yeah.
around fighting movie,
Like
and not exactly
not
like
professional
organized
fighting,
fighting.
yeah.
Exactly.
Just like a
Exactly.
top second tier,
Yeah.
you know?
So,
I mean,
so you can
on
we
the
can we can
fringe
have a
of
mini
first tier?
battle on this.
yeah, I think it's top tier.
What do you have it? Okay, what do you have over? We'll battle this.
Okay.
Never Back Down or Green Street Hooligans.
I have to go with Green Street because, like, Never Back Down, you're putting, like, these 17-year-old kids in, like, elite MMA status type shit. Like, they're
Ryan
fucking
McCarthy is unreal.
They're going to underground tournaments and, like, putting some moves on. Like, this movie, they're fucking throwing bricks at each other and throw haymakers. Like,
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, we don't need to get into the battle about this because, like I said, Never Back Down. That deserves its own movie review. We don't need to get into it.
I would put Green Street above, but
So,
I know
yeah,
you guys are
you
big.
know,
I would also just for the depth of the movie. You know, I feel like Never Back Down is a very like shallow surface
Are
movie.
you
There's
fucking
a-
kidding?
I know you're gonna. I know.
K Morgan's going on the record. Never Back Down is elite.
It's not even close to Green Street.
There's just
Elite.
no like. There's
It's also my
so
guilty
little of
pleasure.
a backstory in that movie. You're just like kind of.
So-
It's all action.
but Baja.
Baja Smoke.
yeah.
Baja Smoke. Okay. So anyway, my last couple few things on Green Street that I didn't exactly love about it is that it is pretty lighthearted for the most part. Like Blaine talked about, like they're jumping people, getting off buses, like clowning around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Drinking
super
beers.
lighthearted.
No. but that's lighthearted in comparison to the last 20 minutes when it
Yeah.
gets crazy
They're trying to
dark.
kill each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
as soon as they
When
draw
it's-
the ticket for Millwall,
Yeah.
the rivals that put the major out the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the rivals
Was
leaders'
his
son died in a scrap.
Yeah.
And shit just gets serious after that. Like they come to the bar, beer bottle in the neck. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
From
Yeah.
that
Straight up
scene
says,
on, it's
you-
nuts.
If you die tonight, we're even. And
Yeah.
it spits on him. Like it
it
gets
spits
dark.
on,
Yeah.
puts
It's
their
super
bar
dark.
on fire. From that scene on, that movie's dark.
That's what I'm saying, and That's one of my mini beefs with the movie.
You're watching
that,
guys get beat to death on the beach, basically.
Well, they all got brass knuckles and fucking batons and shit.
Yeah, they're
cheating.
pulls out a
Oh,
fucking
they
stick
cheating.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm like, yo, we're just scrapping here. Guy brings out a fucking stick.
I might have seen those weapons in or around a vehicle in high school
Yeah.
from certain people.
All right, so that's Green Street Hooligans. Great movie.
As you can tell, there's a lot to talk about
Yeah.
about this fucking movie.
Go watch
we got
it. Let us
nightsticks
know.
and brawls
Yeah,
constantly.
you could watch that on YouTube. You watch the full movie on YouTube.
K Moore, what's our next quote? First of all, thanks again to Daniel for great recommendation.
Oh, I love
yeah,
it.
I mean, that might have been our longest movie review. We could talk about that one for
Yeah.
a minute. But again, great movie. Appreciate
I mean, the last couple are going to be tough to beat.
I know.
They're going to be
We've
tough
had
to
some
beat.
great
We're going to need
runs.
some good movies
Yeah,
coming in.
And like I said, guys, we appreciate obviously the follow and keeping this segment alive. But again, get the quote, be the first one. We can have your movie will be next up. So,
Yeah.
quote this week: "The Asians own the casino, Ted."
Fan favorite.
That's every time we're in Vegas.
I mean, personal favorite. I don't know if
Personal
personal
favorite.
favorite.
Personal
The
favorite.
Asians
So,
own the casino, Ted.
that's the
again.
movie review with the film Dr. K. Morg. Mixed it up. That's why we got Stella, and we're going to sip on Stella tonight. So let's do a cheers to
Cheers, boys.
Green Street. Green
cheers
Street
to Green
there.
Street,
To
dude.
Pete Dunham.
Pete Dunham.
Pete Dunham.
Oh, man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
So
Spoiler.
sports are back.
Sports about it.
Sports are back. We had a freaking huge weekend NBA playing game. Everything that we talked about that wasn't locked in stone last week for seeding wise all came in. We're all good on that. Blazers
Yeah, Blazers getting that 8 seed.
getting ready to tip.
I told you
tonight.
before you guys started the episode, I was like, just say that they're going to be 8 seed.
I mean,
Lock
they
that
were the
in.
hottest team. They had a good weekend.
Dame's going off in the bubble.
We had some
Absolutely going off.
We had some predictions, and we broke down fight preview for last week. So let's get into that fight recap from the UFC 252 DC and Stipe. Let's start with the first fight with Divashile and Dotson. K. Moore, what happened in this fight?
What happened was exactly what I predicted. If you guys listened to the last episode, I said this was the absolute lock of the card. I said Divashile is just going to toy with Dotson and get it done. I will say, though, Divashile was not able to keep Dotson on the ground, though.
Oh,
That's
no.
his game. Dotson was slippery.
Dotson
Slippery.
was very fast, very slippery, but Divashivi was a robot.
It didn't
Yeah.
even
He's
matter.
a fucking robot.
Divashile
It
was
didn't
just
matter.
getting his cardio, his energy. He was just able to get it done. I had a pretty significant bet on that fight. Got it done.
Huge.
Got it done.
Got
Made
it
me
done.
worry a little bit, but
Blame text was like, great, now I'm panicking. And I'm like, hey, it's a lock. Don't worry about it. We're going to be all right.
So we started the night off good. Divashile won. Then you had a Rosenstrike and
Good God.
Dos Santos.
Okay.
This fucking guy.
I think when the fight started, you're like every single moment in punch thrown, you're like someone's going to bed.
Well, that's
like
heavy-
every
that's-
single person.
That's a heavyweight fight.
Yeah,
that's an
but
heavyweight
like
fight,
I don't
though.
know, it felt different. I was like, oh,
But watching this fight with Mac, we were watching it, and Dos Santos was at least scoring. You know
I was
what mean?
about to have a heart attack.
So obviously, as you listened to the last week's episode, we had a parlay and we bet Rosenstrike straight up. And me and Mac are just watching this fight, and Dos Santos is just like points, jab.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
dancing,
Dos Santos
points.
winning
Just
that first
finding
round.
the
For sure.
jab.
And most of the second.
Yeah.
And then we just lost our shit.
Wait, what did we see at a Rosenstrike in the first round?
Nothing.
Fucking leg kicks? Low leg kicks? Are you fucking kidding me? You have ham
Nothing,
hocks for
dude.
arms.
Nothing.
Throw a goddamn punch.
Yeah, no, he was getting beat, and I knew it was coming. Dude, I knew that blow was coming eventually.
And then he let those ham hocks eat.
Yeah.
And
Slept the old man.
He clipped him.
Dude.
He clipped him with the first one.
And that's where I said Dos Santos is done.
Yeah.
And Rosenstrike obviously had the huge right hand and just put him to bed.
Rosenstrike's a good fighter, man. He just walked in Nagano, and anyone who walks in the ring with Nagano usually comes out like that. He's like,
No, he's 11-1. His
Yeah.
only loss was when he got slept.
I know.
But another dimension.
I mean, that
He
was
got
my
slept.
that was my lock in the night with Rosenstrike. I mean,
still mini
I never
sweat,
want to
though.
put
Yeah.
too much money against Dos Santos. Though. I know the era has ended,
Yeah.
but that guy used to be scary.
Honestly,
a big
on a heavyweight
under-
fight
he
in
looked
general.
good.
He did.
He looked good going
he
into
looked
that
cut
fight.
up.
I was like,
And that
fuck.
stash?
The porn stash.
Yeah.
I respect the
Yeah.
stash.
There's a lot of
Stash.
porn stashes that night, too.
There were a couple.
It's like, whoa.
and Rosenstrike just got married like 2 months ago, so he hasn't been training as hard. I saw that his camp was a little short because
That's some sabermetrics right there.
Yeah, that's
good
that's
shit,
Cody.
deep.
Yeah, that's good.
Where'd you get that from?
inside source.
We were at the camp and the wedding.
So the third fight we broke down last
We
week for
sponsored.
you guys, this one hurt. O'Malley and Vera. O'Malley blew his shit out.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Is that confirmed?
I don't know.
Or did he Paul Pierce our ass?
You know what?
Last I heard, just shit himself.
He did post an Insta pic with a couple of girls, so he might be okay.
Yeah.
But he
Was
might
it
be
an
blown.
ankle?
He might be blown though.
Was it a knee, an ankle?
It
What-
said a
It looked like
recurring injury, and
looked like
they've only kind of said the leg. Like they're referring to it as the leg.
I wish I could have seen this fight, like the full fight. You know what I mean? Like this was so disappointing to me.
It was super disappointment.
This was my lock of the night. I'm
Yeah.
hurt.
Wow, that
I'm
was your
hurt.
lock of the night?
That was my lock
O'Malley,
of the
yeah.
fucking night.
Actually, that was mine too. It was Rosenstrike was the second one for me.
That was my lock of the night. It just hurts, dude. It
I don't-
hurts.
well,
he couldn't even finish the fucking fight. He
All right,
hurt himself.
outside of like what a suspected injury, was that an early stoppage?
Yes.
Yes, but I think
I think it was
everybody,
inevitable, but-
everybody, including everybody watching, knew like
He was blown.
this is fucking done.
You think
as
Herb,
soon as
you
he
think
gets on
Herb
the,
was like,
and I think
Yeah.
Herb knew,
Yeah.
and he was just like, let's just
like I don't think if I let the round in, I don't think he'll come back out. So give Vera that TKO.
Sure.
Well, because I was thinking about when I was watching the fight, I was thinking to myself, the minute his back hits the canvas, he's done regardless.
Yeah.
like he's not going to be able to get back up.
Right.
You know,
I mean, it happens to the best of us. Maybe it looked like a freak
I don't
injury.
even want to fucking hear it, K-Morg. I don't want to hear it.
You can't even say that he just
Yeah.
that
Vera had no fucking chance winning that fucking fight. No fucking shot.
I mean,
Hey,
I won $45.
Vera did win that fight though.
So bullshit.
I won, and I won money too.
So bullshit.
If you listened last week,
I
That
picked
fucking hurt
the
me.
value
last
there.
week.
I threw
Vera-
$50 on it.
Well, Vera didn't win the fight. O'Malley lost the fight.
There it is.
Vera,
I'll take that.
Vera did win the fight.
I think so.
What was your thing about
O'Malley
betting
lost
the
the
upcoming
fight.
superstars?
Don't do
I know.
it. Exactly.
Rising stars.
Exactly.
Don't bet the
Stars.
rising
Don't
stars.
bet the rising
That's such a
stars.
jinx. Oh
know.
god,
It's
that's
not.
such
It's a
jinx.
fact. Don't do it. It's not a fucking.
And
it's a
who's
fucking
Vera to
fact.
fucking run his mouth though after a win like that? That
Ru-
guy
running up on the
irritates me.
cage.
That
Hey,
guy
It's
irritates
like
me.
K-Morg running his mouth right now that Vera like TKO'd him.
Okay,
he did.
So far,
On
let's
the
just say it.
stab.
So far, I'm 3 for 3. Okay.
All right.
All right,
again-
let's talk about the last fight.
But
then.
again, like I said, Vera's good. Vera's gonna fight someone next, and he's gonna put on a pretty good
O'Malley's
fight.
will be back. O'Malley will be back.
Yeah,
in
Mally.
2
He'll be-
years when his Achilles isn't blown.
Oh,
Sure.
God. Hope it's not an Achilles. That sucks.
All right, let's get into the main.
Main event: Dise and Stipe.
Yeah, and
Just
Stipe.
Like Stipe.
As Big Oak said.
Big Oak. Shout out Big Oak.
Shout out Big Oak.
I got a Big Oak story later on.
Stipe.
today, too.
oh man.
So, this blew my parlay. Like I said, obviously,
Were
I was
you shocked though?
a little bit, and my reasoning why I'm shocked is I don't think DC utilized any wrestling at all, and I thought that was his biggest advantage.
I think so too.
Like,
I thought he was gonna
knew-
learn.
None.
I knew
and
Stipe.
take him down.
Stipe is a better boxer. I think everyone kind of knew that coming
but
in.
he bobbled Stipe in the first fight.
Yeah, but it was a close one on the chin. Like it was, you know.
And he said, I mean, DC did get overconfident. I watched his pre-fight interview where he was saying like, he watched the tape and he knew that he could do this in this fight. And Go be a commentator, dude. See ya.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
I've
I don't
never been
typically
a DC
root,
fan.
Yeah, I don't typically root for
haven't
DC,
either.
Me
but
neither.
I still thought he was the better fighter
I thought so
going
too.
in
I
all
agree.
around.
All-around
And
fighter, yeah.
That's why I ended up betting it.
He even
but-
said in the post interview that he was like, "Yeah, Stipe didn't really overreach himself." It's like
he changed.
you're
Stipe
a
did a
fucking
good job on
Olympic wrestler.
a lot of the
Yeah.
clinches.
Find a fucking way.
No, he went 5 rounds throwing blows with a guy fucking bigger, stronger.
And how
Like,
awesome is it?
taller.
How awesome is it when they just stand in the fucking phone booth?
Oh, they were going
just
after
Just
it.
stand in the
Great.
pocket.
They were bombs.
Yeah, dude.
And no, it was a good fight. I enjoyed
just
it.
heavy hands.
Outside of the eye pokes on either side, it kind of slowed down the momentum and hype of the fight a little bit. But I enjoyed it.
It gave a little wiggle room for the reasoning behind the win. But
Yeah, well, it got you worrying about like, are they poking each other's eyes like on purpose, like some dumb. Dude, I'm sitting there in the 3rd round, like, because Stipe I think poked, DC poked Stipe in the
went,
first,
like, a knuckle deep
and
in
then
his
the
eye.
announcers
Stipe went knuckle deep in
Yeah.
DC. That was
Yeah, that was
gross.
bad.
But after DC poked him in the eye in the first
Yeah.
round, the announcers, the ref, like made it all about that. Really,
like controversial, kind of.
like the
and
announcing
it kind of ruins it.
The announcing wasn't as good as the fight because they were just so worried about like that eye poke and changing their grip and their fist. Like I was kind of like, dude, just stop talking about it. Let's let it go. But he did get knuckled deep in that eye.
It was
Stipe in the
Yeah.
was it the end of the second or
I think it was mid-third.
Mid-third, yeah.
Bad.
So that was UFC 252. The recap: K Morgan went 3-1.
Yeah, well, 3-4-4.
3-1.
3-1, I guess you can call.
Always just wants to fucking argue whatever I say.
3 for 4.
He just wants to bat 750.
Yeah, I'm batting 750.
Man, I was a little disappointed in the last two fights as far as what I thought was gonna happen.
Outcome.
Yeah, but with every loss comes a new beginning with John Jones vacating the light heavyweight title.
Baby.
That's actually really big news.
Fuck.
Bones Jones vacating light heavyweight.
I mean, he.
That's assuming
10 years.
That's assuming he's going up.
Oh
yeah,
of course.
I think everybody can
he
assume
said
that.
the heavyweight journey begin.
Yeah.
He actually tweeted like that on.
I told you he's
Jones
been lifting
Nagano.
like he's fucking putting on weight.
So
dude.
who's gonna be the light heavyweight? Who's gonna be
It's
that?
Dom and
That fight.
I can't
is for light
remember
heavyweight?
the other guy's name.
Yeah,
the
so
Russian.
It's like Blankowitz, right?
Blankowicz or something like that.
Yeah, so at that I
fight's in
got
February,
confirmed
right?
for the
Yeah.
interim light heavyweight champion.
February.
Wow, so Dom gets his title shot.
Dom gets his.
February 26th.
Gotta get him in the studio then.
Yeah,
Shout
we
out
gotta
Dom.
get Dom in the studio. Shout out Dom, Hesperia.
Local guy.
So that's big, but I mean, where does the heavyweight title go? Does it go to Ngannou or does it go to John Jones? Who's fighting Stipe?
If Dana's smart,
He'll
Who's
just
fighting
he'll give
Stipe?
it to Jones.
yeah.
He'll
If Dana's
just give it
smart,
to
he'll
Jones.
just give Stipe bones.
I would rather just see Ngannou fight Jones. Who gives a shit about the belt?
Every prediction I've seen so
Yeah.
far has none of which have had Ngannou fighting Stipe.
Well,
It's all
and
Jones.
Except Dana. Dana said
But,
that Ngannou's the guy.
Rosenstrike and Curtis Blades and Derek Lewis just got confirmed. So that takes those two out of any.
Out of the equation.
Yeah,
yeah,
I like
they're
those-
not even
I
in
like
the
those
talk.
two guys too.
that
I like Curtis Blades.
I think Curtis.
It's all
kinda-
about the black.
I know,
Do you think Ngannou fights Stipe for the belt
I think so.
in hopes that Ngannou wins? Jones gets his warm-up fight in the heavyweight.
Regardless,
but
it's a
who would
money
you put
fight
him
for
at?
Jones.
Fight him against Gustafsson.
No.
Who, Jones?
Yeah, at the heavyweight.
What's he gonna do the third time?
Yeah,
Knock his ass out
nothing.
again?
Yeah.
Gustafsson's off a loss for Verdum. It's not happening.
I mean, I could see
that's true.
Rosenstrike Jones, but
I just
I don't
love-
think
no.
Jones would accept that. I don't think his
No.
camp would accept that.
No,
Fight
it's,
Ngannou.
it's gonna be
Fight Ngannou or Stipe.
It should be
God.
Stipe Ngannou, and Jones will be coming up and fighting the
I
winner.
think it's opposite. I think it should be Ngannou and Jones, and the winner of that fights Stipe.
Gives
Jones
Stipe
is
a
not.
little break.
Jones
Stipe's
is
gonna
not
be on a
fighting
year
for.
hiatus.
Jones is not fighting for a contender
Stipe's
fight.
He
gonna
doesn't
go
care-
fight fires.
But okay, Jones doesn't care about the title of the belt. I think he wants the money.
And it's both.
You'll pay him the same money as
I think he
title
cares
fight.
about the legacy
Yeah.
though too.
I know he does.
He
but
I
wants
think he
legacy,
cares
so.
about the legacy, but like
he needs that blow money. dude.
But
he's
I
the
think
fucking light
he
heavyweight.
needs that blow money.
Best
Who
of
does
the
that?
best.
Yeah, so that was some big news at UFC this week, and it was a great UFC news weekend as far as with the
What's
252.
going
A
forward
lot of
too?
movement too,
Yeah.
and then featherweight you got Korean zombie Brian Ortega too. That's a big fight for that division as well.
we
Adesanya
got contender
coming up
fights
as well.
tonight too. Oh yeah,
What's that?
Style bender coming
Style
up.
Bender's
baby.
coming up.
That's another month or so.
Yeah, we'll have to.
I got a
break it
text the other day. It said Costa's gonna knock him out. And I said, "You're crazy.
you're
You're
crazy.
You're high.
crazy."
So that's UFC recap over the weekend. Not only 252, but the news that we got out of the Jones camp about vacating the light heavyweight title. Going into our segment with some not so fun news. Big Ten canceled their football season. Said they're going to try to do it in the spring. Pac-12 follows right behind them and does it. And then we got 3 conferences that say they're going to play. This was destined to be our college football preview episode. You know, we thought everything's going to be rolling, everything's going to be going according to plan, but it's not. So I want to start with the 2 conferences that said they're not going to play. Starting with the Big Ten, you know, they were the first one to kind of do it, and there's been so many different mixed news messages coming out that there wasn't really a vote. The ADs had no idea about it, and then Justin Fields comes out and has that petition about wanting to play. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
He got 200,000 signatures on it.
That's not enough.
Like immediately. Like,
Immediately.
It's not enough though.
It's not enough. Yeah.
But you know what's
I
crazy?
mean, I love that it's 200,000 people that want to watch football, that want them to play, but it's not.
So
gonna
do you
be
guys think they'll play in the spring, those 2 conferences? Or just bang it for the whole year?
enough? Hope.
I see their plan. That's the plan. But as soon as the big time prospects say, "Yeah, we can't do that," I have a draft
yeah.
in a couple months.
Well, the big-time prospects are done no matter what. So it's a matter of
so
do
now
they
you're just-
still want to do it.
You're gonna let. I mean, who's gonna play for them?
But what does that even look like? It's like a conference-only schedule, and then it's like just the Rose Bowl?
Well, Nick Saban literally had a quote today and said, if there's a spring season, it's going to be a JV squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's afraid of people opting out.
Well,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to.
He's not afraid. He knows it's happening.
It's happening.
And we all know it's happening.
The draft prospects are gone, and
Justin Fields is the number
A
2 draft prospect right now. He's the
Yeah.
number 2 quarterback. He's not playing. You're telling me, like, let's just say, the Jaguars are the number 2 pick. They're like, yeah, Justin, go play a full season. We're going to draft you number 2 if you get injured.
Yeah.
Fuck no. He's
Right.
not playing.
And
which is
then
scary for college football.
other prospects so is the season gonna be normal now? Like they're gonna go to, training camp or whatever in the fall. Like August comes around real quick.
Well, yeah, I think
I know.
that's
spring.
2 seasons
Yeah,
in
that's-
one
In
in
12
1
months
year.
calendars, there's no
Football
way they
takes
can
a
do
You
toll.
that.
can't do that.
Especially, if they're talking full bowl seasons like that, guys are playing, 14 games now.
Okay, let's
It's a long
say
season.
Yeah.
let's say it happens for whatever reason. Let's say there is a spring season with the Pac-12, the Big Ten, and then those small conferences that say they're going to play, the Mountain West, the MAC said they might play, and I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 other ones. How does that work? Do they just have like a one bowl game for the Big Ten and the Pac-12? Like, what do you guys foresee that happening as? Or do you think it's just like a clown show and it's just 10 games? And I mean, we'd all watch it. Obviously, it's called football in the spring.
Parlays, baby.
You know what I mean? Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'll blow this up.
Oh yeah, I'm hammering the board on Saturday.
I know we all have the negative feeling about it, but it could be kind of fun watching like some freshmen get the nod, like Justin Fields backup play 10 games and he lights it up, and then you have some. You're like, what if they go undefeated? Clemson goes undefeated. Like, who would have been national champion?
It's gonna be like watching like the high school army game every Saturday.
I think it's better than that. I think
No.
it's.
You
My
know,
biggest
it's
thing-
just like
I mean, you're
gonna get a lot of freshmen out there. You're gonna get a
Yeah.
lot of freshmen out there trying to prove themselves. It's gonna be fun to watch, no doubt. But it's
Well,
gonna be like watching a high school all-star game.
It's just
you
going to
know?
be a big what if season, regardless
Yeah.
of if we have
Right.
a great freshman showing. What if Justin Fields played? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's all it's going to be, which is
especially,
really
especially
unfortunate.
after the fall season ends, you'll be like, dude, Ohio State with Justin Fields wasn't involved in this.
I mean,
championship.
T.Y., to answer your question, I think if they did just have those 3 big conferences play, then obviously they do some sort of, number 2 in the ACC plays the number 2 in the SEC, number 1 in the number.
Yeah.
Like they do some sort of round robin to some effect.
Yeah.
But
So,
disappointing nonetheless.
Last point on that. Do you think the letter that Justin Fields came out with will have any effect whatsoever, or is this done?
It's tough to say. I hope.
I know
as
we
a
hope.
fan, I'm
I
like,
know.
God, I really hope so. Like, I would love to sign that petition. Right
Yeah.
now. But I don't think so.
I think it's done.
think it's
I
toast.
think we're gonna miss out on some
I know.
really good prospects. They're gonna work on themselves, go to the draft.
Yeah. We're gonna see a lot of guys show up to the combine that we're like, where have you been in the last 5 months?
They're in the
A lot
gym.
of-
I mean, been in the gym.
Just
I mean,
stacking up.
Let's just talk about, the number 1 prospect in the draft last year, Joe Burrow, was, they said he was a number 5 projection before
Yeah,
the
5th
season,
round.
and then he goes number 1 overall. There's a lot of guys
Yeah,
like
do you
that.
see his
Yeah.
tweet? He goes, I'd be looking for a job right now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
He'd be
no,
fighting.
he made it very clear, without his senior year,
Yeah.
he's
Which-
not a
which
top
we all,
guy.
We all concur.
Yeah.
Like,
We agree.
So there a
We
lot
all
of
believe
players. I feel like we should give them. I think you mentioned this earlier. Give them the opportunity to transfer out.
This is a wild thought.
This is wild.
Me
This is
and I
out
said
there.
this off the record. We were like, yo, what if the NCAA was just like, yo, Field, you can go play in the SEC if you want.
That'd be nuts.
Wow.
Or they said Ohio State, you can go play in the SEC for a year.
Just that team.
Just like the teams
Well,
that could do it.
God.
I mean,
I just got chills.
Yeah, like
Ohio State just.
oh god.
Ohio
Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Nebraska wants to do it too, which though this get worked. But
You can play Arkansas.
Hey, they'll get a couple dubs in there.
yeah, but how nuts would that be? Like or Alabama in Ohio State.
Well, Oregon's
in
top
November.
10, top 5 too right now too.
I know.
You throw Oregon in there, just
Just a power conference, like not Power 5, just a power.
power.
But I do feel bad. I feel bad for those kids
Conference.
I know.
that
Yeah.
could have made their name this year.
It's
Well, I know it's
Yeah.
sad.
It is sad.
Worst
Hopefully
case
those
scenario,
guys
though,
get to showcase
they are getting a
themselves.
red shirt
Slovis?
year. So.
Yeah.
Slovis, yeah.
Slovis.
So let's talk about the conferences that are playing. Let's talk about the good news, not the shitty news that those guys aren't going to play. Big 12, ACC, and SEC all released their schedules. Actually, I don't know if ACC released theirs yet.
I just
They
saw
did.
SEC.
They did.
Yep,
Okay.
they
did.
But I know the other two have. Let's start with the what I think is the worst out of the group is second worst. Big 12. Let's start with the Big 12.
Start with the Big 12.
What? What are you shaking your fucking
I
head
just don't
about?
understand the worst. What do you
Yeah.
mean the worst?
Of the three.
Like conferences?
Of the three conferences.
I would consider the
It's
ACC.
all
I mean, ACC's, but ACC
it's
is
all
Notre Dame now.
subjective. It's
I
all
would consider the
subjective.
ACC.
No,
That's my
ACC
comment on the
added
conference powers.
Notre Dame.
That's my comment on the conference powers. It's all subjective.
I'm not
and-
gonna.
Okay, we're gonna
I'm not
start with the Big 12.
I'm not gonna disagree
Start with the Big 12.
Cody.
That's
The
all I
no
hear.
defense conference.
Start with the Big 12.
The no defense conference. Okay, so
No defense.
Oklahoma is the returning favorite. New quarterback at hand, Spencer Rattler.
Can they do it again?
I don't see why not.
3 in a row?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Anyone?
They've dominated.
I mean, I was doing a lot of research.
Just that quarterback, dude.
I was doing a lot of
Spencer
research.
Rattler's a guy all of a sudden.
He is a guy. Oh,
No,
Spencer.
not all, he's okay,
He was like,
but like now he's in Oklahoma. Everyone's like, oh, fucking Heisman.
dude. He coming out of high school. He was like one of the best
No,
quarterback
he was one
prospects.
of the top prospects. I'm not saying he's bad, but a brand new QB coming into a big time system, gonna play a big time conference. I think Texas has a legitimate shot to win that conference.
I think it's Oklahoma, and then I think there's a gap. And then,
I do
but
believe
second
there's a
place-
gap, but
Second place, there's 3 teams that all can come in second, and they can push Oklahoma.
yeah.
I think there's 3 right there.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I think Texas, and I think Iowa State.
Iowa State
Yeah.
will definitely make that push. They have the best defense in that
I mean,
conference.
Baylor finished second in the conference. You think there's a huge drop off there, huh?
They got a new coach. Their
Same QB.
The defense sucks though.
They lost a lot of players though. I will say
Yeah.
that, but returning QB and it's the LSU D coordinator, so it's
I'm
not
with-
like he's not going to bring some guys in.
I'm
Yeah.
with you on Texas.
I think
They got to get back. I mean, do we buy Ellinger?
as
Yeah,
far
he's
as
gonna be
as far as a
fucking
college
slinging the ball.
QB.
College,
yes,
yeah, okay.
I buy him as a college QB, and I
Okay.
think he can win you ball games. And I think that defense is going to separate them. They're going to stop maybe Oklahoma enough.
Yeah.
I think what's
to
going to
keep them in check.
What's going to separate them is no one's stopping that running game that they have
Also true.
with Ingram, and they got that 5-star kid coming in. What's his name?
Robinson.
Robinson.
They got Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, Bijan. That 1-2 punch is going to be as good as anyone in the country.
And I what that coach, like I said, this is like kind of his like 3rd or 4th year at the school. Like it's time to kind of like turn it around.
Well,
it's his recruits, it's his team
So-
now.
well, that
so
first
you're
year
in
they
on
were
Texas.
good. On the
First year was good, but I think that was Charlie Strong's recruits that
Yeah, it
finally
was.
came to fruition. But I think now this is his team, his system, what he wanted, and it's going to be a big turnaround for them this year.
I'm in on Texas, but I think it's close with Oklahoma State right there.
there's why Oklahoma
A
State.
lot of people like Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
This is why Iowa State and Texas have to go to Stillwater this year.
Oh,
But there's no fans. Well, there might be. In
There might be.
Oklahoma.
There might be.
At that point of the year, there might be fans. So, but still playing on the road, I think in Stillwater is still tough. And they return 19 starters, 8 on offense.
Iowa State.
Oklahoma State.
Oh, you're talking Oklahoma State. Now.
Yeah, so they return 19 starters, 8 of them on offense.
My sleeper there is Iowa State.
I like
do.
Iowa State. I like that coach a lot too.
Their O-line and D-line, I think, is the best in that conference.
So do we all agree that you guys have Oklahoma winning?
Yeah, I'm not going to say they're not
Oh, you have
going to win.
Texas winning.
I'm taking Texas.
I
taking
got,
Texas?
I got Oklahoma winning.
I got Oklahoma winning as well.
So I have Oklahoma winning. I have second place. I have Oklahoma State.
I
Chuba
also
Hubbard is
I
a
have
dude.
Second place, and my sleeper, I have Iowa State.
So you have
Oh.
Oklahoma State coming second, or do you have
I
Iowa
have
State?
Iowa State coming in second.
Okay, or who do you have in second? Oklahoma.
Oklahoma in second.
Okay. Do we have anyone else in that conference, or just it's such a big drop off after those?
It is a
40?
big drop off. It's a huge drop off.
If you could have one surprise team in that conference, who
TCU.
TCU, it's
TCU.
mine as well.
TCU is good.
Yeah.
they just have tons of holes to replace. They lost some big name players last year.
Yeah, their
lost
QB
a
looked
legit
real
corner.
good.
They lost
Rager.
legit, receiver.
Is it Dugan or Duggan?
Who?
Their quarterback. TCU. Duggan?
Dugan.
Dugan.
What about
Dugan. He looked
K-
good his freshman year though.
K Morgan mentioned them. I think there is a huge drop off after them, but Baylor.
Like I said, I think Baylor is still going to put up points and compete with some teams. I don't think
they had a great hire at coach too.
that's what I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think
Aranda.
that they're going
Their
to win.
offensive firepower is a lot.
LSU was legit last year, and he was a big part of that defensive last year. I mean,
Yeah.
they had dudes. but-
Again, coaches
They
don't
had fucking
don't
9
play. Like,
second
LSU,
round.
yeah, LSU's
Jesus.
players make them dudes, but again, it's his system, it's his team. So I think, I think he's a big part of it. And they did steal some recruits at the end going to Baylor.
So who would be your sleeper team to come out of there? TCU is yours.
TCU and Baylor are sleepers, but I think,
I would
like I
say
said,
TCU.
Texas is winning.
I would say Baylor.
Baylor is I don't know where there's a sleeper there, but like they could surprise us with
And-
a new coach and mess that conference
I think
up a little
right,
bit.
I'm
that
not
conference is so top heavy with the one and then those other three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That any of those other ones would be a huge surprise.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
consider TCU like winning or beating Oklahoma or Oklahoma State, but I feel like they're going to play better than everybody expects them to play.
All right, sabermetrics. Kansas was the worst team of the 2010s record-wise.
That's crazy.
Look for Kansas to surprise some people with Les Miles.
So not be the worst team, is that surprising
Yes.
people? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But I love Les Miles, so I think he's turning it around a little
I
bit.
actually
there.
like Big 12 football, It's just like, you look at a total, and it's like
I love Big 12
105
football.
points. You're like,
Oh yeah, you want to watch Baker Mayfield, Pat Mahomes
Oh, that
put up
that
these billions.
Oklahoma
Slinging the
Baylor
ball.
game
Yeah.
at the end of the year was nuts.
Oh, that game was unbelievable.
Oh
last year.
God.
Hurts put up like what 6?
Well,
Yeah.
Baylor
Dude.
was up by like 5 touchdowns going into
And
halftime,
Oklahoma came back and won that
and
game.
we're panicking,
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
We all took
the,
Oklahoma.
the money
But
we had on that.
and we cover.
Damn.
Any prospects out of this conference before we
I
finish up?
have a surprise one, and it's going back to Oklahoma high power offense. I like the transfer from UCLA, Theo Howard. He's a wide receiver.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good player.
He's good. He's
Athletic kid.
coming off injury, but he's very athletic. When he was healthy at UCLA, he put up some really good numbers. Now he has a good quarterback, a really good offensive scheme. Like he could be the 1,000-yard 10 guy.
K. Morgan, anyone that sticks out to you?
I'll stick with your guys' Iowa State being pretty good. I like the QB Brock Purdy.
I love
yeah,
that,
Purdy's
love
a good
that
kid.
guy.
I like him. I think
he can play a little bit.
yeah, he's like maybe like an Andy Dalton in
Okay.
the league potentially.
Okay, Mac,
Yeah.
anyone that stuck out to you, prospect wise?
No, I'm really excited to see what Max Dugan does though.
Yeah.
Like, I think TCU's going to come out and surprise some people. I think they're not far away from being competitive in this conference for sure.
I like that.
TCU's sick
Yeah.
college.
I mentioned
dude.
him.
know.
I mentioned him earlier, but I
Those
liked
fucking Horned Frogs, bro.
I liked Ingram out of Texas, running back.
Yeah.
He's eligible this year. He's a junior, I think, this year.
Mhm.
And then I like Chuba Hubbard too. I mean, the kid is just a freak.
Yeah, Oklahoma State had a little bit of drama off season with everything going on.
Yeah, I think he's in
but
a.
that's why I'm kind of off them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I forgot about that whole.
Yeah, they're kind of after Gundy.
I know.
To be honest with you, he dropped $1 million of his salary for all this nonsense.
Wow.
I swear.
Wow, want to keep his job. Okay, so let's move on to the next conference. It's gonna show out this year. The ACC. ACC has 2 divisions. We have the Atlantic Division, as well as the Coastal Division. Let's start with the Atlantic Division. We'll start with Clemson.
I mean,
5 straight titles over there.
it's just NFLU over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Clemson is the place to go play at.
Yeah.
It's the team to beat. If you're in that division, you want any shot, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
is Notre Dame playing in the Atlantic or the Coastal? Did they even tell us, or they're just playing a schedule with the ACC? Do we know that? They're just playing the ACC schedule.
I just saw the schedule. I didn't
Yeah.
really see it.
So we got Clemson. We all know you got the big names. You got Trevor Lawrence, ETN, Justin Ross out for the year though.
Yeah,
neck
that
injury.
means Amari Rogers got to step up big.
Yeah, Rogers and
But
then
like, is it almost like it's next man up at Clemson,
it
right?
is.
Yeah.
It just is.
I mean,
Now you're
we say that terms, but there's superstars, and then there's
Yes,
Clemson
I would say in the big time ball game, like when they're playing LSU and they're having to man up with Stingley, Justin Ross might win you a matchup. One of their guys, freshman, probably doesn't win that matchup. So that's
Yeah.
where it separates.
Agreed.
But when they're playing Louisville, in September, October, I think their 5-star freshman can get the job done.
Clemson's offensive line is loaded this year.
And their D line.
Their D line is every year.
Their D line led by Tyler Davis is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Every year they have a first round prospect D
Xavier
line.
Thomas.
Yeah,
They
They're going to
gotta-
be legit.
The big question is they got to revamp that secondary.
so
They lost a lot.
They lost a lot in the secondary.
I mean they have an island. Kendrick is top notch. They're not going to throw at him, and that's why I picked
I think
Goodrich.
they had like 5 guys in their secondary drafted.
yeah.
their secondary
I mean,
was loaded.
like Tanner Moose.
So their corner, I think he's a sophomore. I want to say Goodrich is going to get thrown at and picked on all year, and he's got to be good.
He's going to step up.
He's gonna have to.
He's
step
going to
up.
have to step up. They won't throw at Kendrick.
So Clemson's obviously the favorite. We all agree that, we have them winning the Atlantic Division. Second place gets a little interesting for the Atlantic. Louisville is the favorite to come in second. They return that triple threat that's as good as anyone. Quarterback, running back, and receiver. And they light up the scoreboard.
Yeah.
They can light up the scoreboard. And they're building something special in Louisville with those new facilities.
The
things like that.
the last 5-6 years, Louisville's put their self out there for football.
Thank you, Lamar Jackson.
I don't know if this is the year for Louisville, but I will say Louisville as a university is competitive in all 3 major sports, and I do love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Baseball,
are.
Yeah.
football, and basketball.
You
all
love to
sports.
see that.
Do you
Yeah.
think they're better than Florida State and Wake Forest?
No.
Actually,
yes. I do.
which one is it, dude?
I think they're better than Florida State.
Florida
think
State.
I think they're better than Florida State.
State?
I don't even think Wake Forest is in that category. I think Wake Forest is really good, though.
Wake Forest have 4 straight bowl
Four
games.
straight bowl games.
Sam Hartman, QB1.
QB1.
Sam Hartman.
Netflix.
QB1.
I think Florida State's going to be good with the new head coach.
And 10 returners on defense.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about that part of the... Yeah, the new
I
head
was
coach.
quiet there, but I'm telling you, I think Florida State's going to be a lot better this year.
Mike Norvell, head coach. That's a good hire.
It's a good hire.
That's going to be interesting to see who comes in that order with those 3. I think NC State's a year or 2 away. Syracuse they had their little run.
Well, they went from fucking 10-3 to 5-7.
Boston College has a new head coach. I actually like him too. The Boston College, and they got a quarterback transfer from Notre Dame. Yeah, Notre Dame.
I liked him a lot.
Yeah,
Pete, man, he was good. I kind of wanted him to be the guy. Honestly, this year I thought Book was going to be gone. But he was good. Like, he played in scrub time, and I liked him a lot. Dual threat guy that he might win some ball games for them, but the team around him's not good enough.
Is there any interesting teams you like in this conference behind Clemson that
In
make
this
a little run?
in this part of the conference?
Just the Atlantic Division.
Like, if Notre Dame's in this side of the conference, then I like Notre Dame to be asleep.
I'm so
we can
out
talk
on
about Notre
Ian
Dame.
Book.
We'll
Yeah.
separate.
We'll separate
but,
Notre Dame from you.
on this side of the conference, no.
It's just
It's
Clemson and everyone else.
Yeah.
It's Clemson and everyone else.
Yeah.
And then it's a huge drop
And
off.
I think Florida State will compete
Florida State
and be the number
has
2 out of this
the
conference.
players, but I don't think they're there yet.
So, okay, let's go to the Coastal Division, and this is like flip a coin. Anyone can win this. A lot of people were picking North Carolina. Mac Brown has starting to get his guys in there. Their offense is high-powered. You got Virginia Tech. They'll push. North Carolina, 10 defensive starters return. But Caleb Fairley opted out, first-round corner.
Yeah.
Saw
that.
Then I think after that, you can kind of say, shoot, man, I don't know. I really don't know. All those teams have some pieces that can kind of compete. I think Georgia Tech's another year away. They had to revamp that whole damn team.
Yeah, they changed everything over there.
Mac, who do you like in this part of the conference? Do you like any of these teams?
North Carolina,
North Carolina?
obviously.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a coin toss. Honestly, I don't pay too much attention to this conference unless I'm betting on them.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay, Mark, who do you got
it's a
on this
fucking
side?
toss up.
I think honestly, there's 4 teams that all have a legitimate chance to win
Yeah.
this. I think North Carolina, I really like Sam Howell. I think he's a legitimate Heisman guy. Like,
Really?
I
That high?
I do. I think he's going to put up numbers. He reminds me a lot of Baker Mayfield. That's my
Really?
comp on him, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good comp.
Yeah, he's good.
That's
He's
a really
good.
good
He
comp.
put
I
up
like her.
points
Mayfield.
against Temple in the bowl game. He's good.
Okay.
So I like Sam Howell. I like North Carolina. I like Miami. Derek King is coming,
That's
and they
a
got
huge transfer.
That's my pick.
They got a big transfer from
Miami.
Temple too, Quincy Roche, who's going to be a guy for them on the defense side of the ball. Manny Diaz in his second year, I think it's a good situation going on. But again, it's like, do you buy in? Are you ready to buy in on Miami?
The only thing that questions me about Miami is their offensive line is a big question mark this year. The rest of their team, King's a huge pickup for them.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean,
Huge
he's coming
pickup.
off a solid season in Houston.
I like Virginia Tech.
So that's my third. I like Virginia Tech. Their defense is always stout.
Their defense
Is always stout.
But losing Fairley is a huge.
Yeah.
He's the first CB to go off the board, right? Everybody had him projected.
They had him going high.
Yeah, I'm going high. But my 4th team is a little bit of a sleeper. It might be my dark horse to do this, but it's Pitt.
Pitt. I like Pitt.
I like
that.
Pitt. Pitt's
Like that a
strong.
lot.
I like their throwback unis too.
Yeah.
They have a good defense too.
Yeah, no, they're returning like 8 starters on D.
They just lack kind of the big play guy.
Always,
They
yeah.
lack the big play.
But like you look at like the guys that they get into this league that are dudes, and they're stout on D. It's
Shout out
another.
Travis
Well,
Fulgham.
ACC
Tyler
plays
Boyd.
good. ACC plays good ball.
Didn't
They do.
Twyman opt out this season
I didn't look.
I didn't see it.
for Pitt?
I don't know.
I think he did.
You tell me.
Okay.
B, you said you got who you
like
got
Miami,
Miami.
right?
Yeah, I like Miami. I think they have like a legit shot to make the ACC championship.
I could see it. That'd be a fun game. Regardless of they're gonna get blown out. Whoever's on that side gets blown out.
I
every
don't
time.
think anyone's beating Clemson, but
No.
Okay, so
I love Miami's offense. I love King. I like
Let's
that.
talk about Notre Dame.
let's see where they fit in.
If Notre Dame's on this side of the conference, they're in the ACC conference championship.
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
They're good.
If they're on the other side, they're not close to Clemson.
That game's gonna be a lot. It's at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is, their offensive line is gonna be good.
I'm so out
It's
on
gonna
Ian
be-
Book. It's ridiculous.
I know. So am I.
So I'm a lifer.
I love your team, but dude,
You know I'm a lifer Notre Dame guy, and I watch every single game. I follow every single team, player, everything. Ian Book is like, we have the team. As my personal opinion is, I don't know if Ian Book wins the big game for us.
that's why I'm out on. I've followed Notre Dame as close as I can since we've been friends, and
yeah.
my wife's a Notre Dame fan.
We watched the Georgia game together last year, and it's like we're down by 1 point on a final drive, and he just doesn't have it. Dude.
he doesn't. But returning 6 offensive linemen is going to take a lot of pressure off him.
Oh, we have a great offensive line. Look at our linemen in the NFL.
But it's not
Quincy Nelson, Zach Martin.
the way Notre Dame.
McGlinchey,
The way Notre Dame wins.
all Pro Bowls.
Ronnie Staley.
The way Notre Dame wins is the defense leads them.
We have a good defense. We
and
have
the
a great
defense is really
defensive
good.
coordinator right now too.
There's a big pieces you lost.
We lost some guys. We lost some linebackers. We lost Troy Pride, corner.
Pride.
Obviously, the corner for the Giants, Julian Fleming or Julian Love. Sorry,
Akeem, Captain
Aquara. We lost both Aquara brothers.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little bit of rebuild, but we have Kyle Hamilton, safety, who's an absolute dude.
Claypool's gone now on the offensive side.
Claypool's gone, but we still have guys.
There's weapons there.
Yeah, we still have weapons. Shout out Corona, California. We got Javon McKinley. Like, we still are rebuilt. We're still doing our thing. Like
You're going to rebuild that part, the skill position part of it. But
and our running backs are solid, and we have a good offensive line to help us out with those.
I think Notre Dame's a top 3 team in this conference easily.
I think we're the second easily in this conference.
I think you guys are the second best team, but I don't know if it's easily. You know what I mean? Like,
who's going to compete? Who's your third?
I like Florida State.
You really? So you okay?
I like Florida State. I think North Carolina is really good too. North Carolina will compete with Notre Dame. I don't know if they play each other.
I don't think North Carolina is as physical as we are. I think people underestimate how physical we are on our lines.
But
yeah,
I
agree with that. I agree with that.
I think we.
So then Virginia Tech might be the matchup then, because
Virginia Tech does play us tough.
Yeah.
I'll give us that. They play us tough every year because they are good on defense.
And don't sleep on when you guys play Boston College, because you guys play them the week after Clemson,
and that's
they
a
always
rival.
play you tough.
That's a rival.
It's a rival, and that week after Clemson, that's going to be a very interesting game, because they're going to have those boys fired up. But I'm agree with you. Notre Dame's the second best team in that conference.
I would love to see Clemson Notre Dame at the end of that.
No, it's going to be Clemson Notre Dame on week 3. So it's going to be
it's early.
You're going to get it early, and you're going to find out real quick who's the team.
Where you guys are at too.
I think we match up with them physically. It's just, can we stop Trevor Lawrence? In my opinion,
no one can stop Trevor Lawrence.
Well, a fun Clemson fact is the last couple of years they're 43-0 when they turn the ball over 2 or more times.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Don't turn the ball over.
Don't turn the ball over, basically.
So
I mean, they haven't lost much.
But people forget Notre Dame. Even when Deshaun Watson was there, they won a national championship, and we lost to them week 2, and we only lost by within a score. So we're right there. But like I said, it's can Ian Book win that big game and win that final drive? That's what I think that game is going to come down to.
It's
honestly,
the star power in the quarterback.
It's the star power on that final drive.
I'm not
Notre
an
Dame
Ian
do
Book
it?
guy, so
I'm not. I'm so out on him. I'm sorry.
We'll see. Like I said, I'm not. He's there again. We're still at the top 10, and we're gonna see if he can do it.
You're a senior. See what you got.
Yeah.
So that's the ACC preview.
If he wins that, he's the Heisman though.
Maybe.
Wow.
Atlantic.
He's gotta be.
Whoa.
They're not. They shouldn't be.
If they're gonna do a Heisman,
Yeah, they shouldn't be.
they're gonna do a Heisman.
A bubble.
So let's talk
MVP.
Talk about the big boys. I'll let you
The
guys decide.
dogs.
You guys want to go east or west first?
The dogs. Let's go east.
Okay.
Let's go east
See,
first.
I think there's more controversy in the east than there is.
I agree. Because the west, I'll get to that.
So, okay, we'll go with the east. Florida's a favorite. Kyle Trask is back. They got a really good offensive line transfer from Mississippi State, Stuart Reese. The D finished in the top 2 in the SEC for fewest scoring points allowed. Their corners are legit in Wilson and Elam. They got to play Tennessee and Ole Miss at home this year, so they're the favorites. You got Georgia, Tennessee is going to be better. Kentucky, I don't know what we got on them. South Carolina, Missouri, and Vanderbilt. What do you got on this conference, B? On this side,
Georgia.
Okay.
I'm going to wipe the table with all these teams. I don't think Florida matches up well against Georgia. The only Georgia like kind of dispute I have is I don't know who's going to be QB.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that later.
Yeah.
I'm with B. I think Georgia's the team to beat still.
You know what's funny is, I think Georgia wins the SEC outright this year.
Wow.
You're fucking high.
That's wild.
You're high.
I mean, I'm not.
I think
Yeah.
whoever honestly,
Wow. I mean, wow, but I'm
they,
right there.
I think whoever they start at quarterback is the best quarterback in the conference.
they did have a transfer come in. Jamie Newman.
Got two.
They had two. They had
Who's that
JT
one?
Daniels
from
from
SC.
SC.
Oh.
I think
Oh,
whoever they
modern day.
start is the best quarterback in the conference. I'm not a Trask guy. I don't buy him. I'm not a Mac Jones guy. They said Mac Jones might get beat out by Bryce Young. So
I think
we'll talk about
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But you know what I do like about Georgia is they didn't lose any skill positions outside of DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
Obviously, big addition. But you know Georgia running back they're going to get someone new.
They
Oh,
brought
they
8
have-
defensive starters back. as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, and
I
they have
think-
Dalvin Cook's little brother. They have Zamir White. They have
That's-
a two-headed monster
They got a
again.
little Cook. That's hard.
Dude, they have little. They have
That's
little.
hard.
And little Cook and Zamir White is,
Oh, yeah,
is
Zamir
a
White's
two-headed
a guy.
two-headed monster again at
George
running
Pickens,
back.
a receiver. I think.
Pickens, he's a dude.
Pickens a first
he was a
round
freshman
NFL
last year,
draft
I think,
pick.
right?
Yeah.
Georgia, in my mind, is still the team to beat, regardless of all the Florida hype that's going on.
The only question for them is 3 new offensive linemen starting.
yeah.
But I mean, it's Georgia. They're getting big time
They
guys.
always have
They
offensive
reload.
linemen.
They reload.
So,
They get
Mac,
Yeah.
I think, had a bet earlier this year that had Georgia over 10 wins or 11 wins. So he thinks Florida's going to do something this year. So
So yeah, Florida.
Yeah, I
That's
have
what I meant. That's what I
Florida
meant,
over
sorry.
Georgia.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you got?
he
You
picked
got
the over
Florida?
on wins.
Yeah, I
though.
have Florida.
Let me
I
hear
have
it.
Florida at the top
Why?
because I don't like Georgia.
Just
I want to go there
just
to
out
play
of
golf.
spite.
I want to go there to play golf, but yeah, I don't know. I'm high on their quarterback. I can't remember
Trask.
his name.
Trask.
Yes,
Trask. Alex Trask.
Very high on Trask. I think that, like I said earlier, what was that, episode 1 or 2?
It was early.
Yeah, it was early, but I said that Florida's not far away from being at the top of that conference. They're not far.
Yeah, we asked
I
the
think you're
Florida
right.
back.
I think they're not far, but I just don't think they're better than Georgia this year.
I don't either, and they're a favorite by like most people are picking. I mean, they're legit. Don't get me wrong. Elam can shut down at quarter.
Well, they have in the rankings they have Georgia 4, Florida 5.
Yeah,
So I mean,
that's true.
we're right there.
What's interesting to me is the rest of the conference on this side. Tennessee. I mean, there's obviously a gap between the top
It's
two.
a huge gap.
And they have a huge tough schedule. The defense returns 5 starters. Henry Tu'u. I love that name. I said to write it down.
Does it have an
So-
apostrophe in it?
Yeah.
So this is what I was alluding to earlier when we were talking about conferences and subjectiveness. Cody CY just said it best himself. He said there's the top 2 and then the rest.
Right.
And that's my thing with the SEC.
The SEC
got-
East.
SEC West as well.
Yeah.
You have the top 3 and the rest. The top 2 on the other
I
side
would
and the
consider that.
rest.
Well, you got Alabama,
And
LSU,
playing
and
that-
Auburn.
That's usually
And
my
playing
argument.
early
rest.
conference
Yeah, and then the
games
rest.
hurts those bottom tier teams.
Oh, of course.
I mean, yeah.
They're going to win no
Yeah.
games.
They might win 0 games.
Vandy's won 2 or fewer SEC games in
Vandy's
the
coming in last
4 out of
place.
6
And
years.
that's my
Vandy's
point.
gonna come in last
when
place in
you
that
like you said, we talk
Don't
about
count Arkansas out.
we talk about the Virginia Techs, we talk about Pitt, we talk about North Carolina as teams that, you know what I mean, are middle of those ACCs. Those teams are beating up Arkansas. Those teams are beating up Ole Miss. Those teams
Yeah.
are going to beat up Mississippi State.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where
See, I don't know if I tend
And that's tough
fully agree
because
with
it's
that.
like, how long ago was Mississippi State good and Ole Miss?
And
Like,
wait, one
they're
year with
on
Dak
the
Prescott?
fringe.
One year with Dak.
Well, you think Mississippi State's gone now? They're about to
Yeah.
be good really soon.
how soon?
With
Not
Mike
this
Leach?
year.
Not this year, but
Not
give them
this
a
year.
Not this year, especially the conference only
Ole
games.
Miss and Mississippi State are going to be back soon.
Mississippi
So they got
State.
Kiffin? What's
Yes.
Kiffin done?
Kiffin can recruit his ass off.
What's Kiffin done?
Fucks.
Kiffin can recruit
Prove
his
it.
ass off.
I
We'll talk
can
about
see
the West.
Kiffin get into old Miss some players.
Like I
Let's-
said,
I can
my
see
point,
that.
My point being is, like I said, the middle after the top, teams of the SEC, the rest of the conference does not deserve the credit that it deserves. When they go into the bowl season, you look at their playing games. ACC actually beats up the SEC on those lower teams. So that's all.
I don't know. I mean, I was talking about more of the Big 12 and how soft they kind of are at the bottom of that schedule. with
Sure, Big 12
Kansas,
is a little soft.
Texas,
Yeah.
Texas
Kansas.
Tech,
I told you
West-
Kansas is terrible.
West Virginia, Kansas State. Those teams are.
West Virginia with Will Greer, you're telling me that they were soft?
How long ago was that?
What, 2?
It was two years ago.
2 years.
Oh, I
got
feel like
drafted.
Will Greer was there a long
No.
time.
2 years. They're not there yet.
Yeah,
They're
Pat,
not- they're
Pat
not
White, West
back.
Virginia beat some teams.
So let's go back to the East side.
Pat White was a dude.
Okay, so we have Florida and Georgia. you don't think any of those other teams are with the shit, basically.
No.
You're
because
right, I don't.
they're going from like maybe 5, 6, 7 game wins to 1 or 2 now.
And here's the bullshit with the SEC is Tennessee might beat up those other teams and they'll still be ranked top 10.
They will.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's my problem with the SEC.
But I don't sleep on Kentucky this year. I think they're a sleeper
They
team.
lost a lot of people.
But they get Terry Wilson back, and they have a really, really good offensive line.
They lost their big time playmakers last year.
But
I don't know.
But their defense only allowed 19 points a game. They were a really good defense. They're a sleeper. That's why they're a sleeper. They're not a favorite. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't think there's any sleeper
There's no
below those
sleeper
top
on
fives.
that, on that
Yeah.
side.
that side.
The schedule's too tough.
And
On that
what are we
side,
considering sleepers? Like we're considering them
they-
to do
they
better
could go-
than they're projected
Will
to.
Vanderbilt win a game?
Right.
Well, I mean, like,
Sleeper.
No,
Yeah.
a sleeper is like they have a outside
a
shot
chance.
yeah, to get to that SEC
win,
championship.
to get the SEC
Yeah.
championship.
And I don't
Kentucky,
see.
wow.
I don't
Outside
see
chance.
that. Yeah.
You know, they might be like a game out going to play Florida.
I
You
don't
know what I
think
mean? With
so.
like 3 weeks left. That's
Sure.
a sleeper to me.
Yeah.
That's a sleeper.
Okay.
Last thing we'll see on this side, or two things actually. Will Muschamp, is he in the hot seat? Like, he has to do something at South Carolina this year, right? Or
He has this quarterback.
Hey, Helinski's good.
But they were like kind
Olu.
of a power for a while, and he's not really doing anything. I think
Yeah,
he's
back in the Jadeveon Clowney years.
Even then, they weren't like
they weren't
unreal.
good, but before
Yeah,
that.
Connor Shaw
At
was
least they're
decent. Their QB
competing
back
for a
in the
bowl.
day.
But do you think he's on the hot seat, or do you think he has a few more years?
Yeah, he is.
I think he's really on the hot seat.
He definitely is.
I don't think this year.
Okay.
I think Dan Mullen might be too for Florida.
Ooh.
If they don't do it this year with all this hype around him, he's going to have some problems the next year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 years.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, if they die from this huge hype
On
they
this
have,
hype train, yeah, he's going to have some
careful
problems.
next year.
And I like the Missouri hire too. Drinkowitz from Appalachian State.
That's a good hire.
Yeah,
actually.
That's a really good
Nick
hire.
Bolton from Miss U is a good. He's a dude.
So yeah,
Linebacker.
that's
probably going to go in first round.
All right, let's talk about the big boys on the West.
Probably.
Talk about the big boys on the West.
Most likely.
Lock it in.
Yeah.
Bama's the favorite. You know, they got a chip on their shoulder. They didn't make the playoff for the first time ever. Mac Jones is going to compete with Bryce Young.
No, it's not.
What do you mean, no, he's not?
Bryce Young's gonna start.
Okay, I knew he was going there, but
How do you know I was going there? You watch Mac Jones. They got what they're gonna get out of Mac Jones.
Mac Jones was good, dude.
He was okay.
He lit up LSU in that game.
Mac Jones.
He didn't play LSU. Tua did, but he played against Auburn.
Auburn, that's who it was.
Auburn, yeah, he
He
had,
had a good game that game.
The Iron Bowl.
But again, I get what B's saying. Is B saying you got that? Auburn wasn't even great last year.
You know what you're getting out of
Yeah.
Mac Jones.
Are you going to get that
Bryce
extra
Young?
to a
He's
factor?
a 5-star,
With
legit
Bryce,
arm strength. Like he could go in there with those Smith and Weddle. Like he could go in there and throw 35 touchdowns.
Well, yeah, I think he's the number one quarterback prospect in the country, like coming out of high school. Well, no, he was second behind. They went back and forth all year.
They were.
I think he
both-
finished one though.
They're both very good.
They,
Point being, Bryce is gonna get it done.
so you think it's like the Tua factor, where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, they had in Jalen Hurts, they threw in Tua because they needed to win.
Because they needed
I
something
think Bryce
else.
is really
They were
dynamic.
going to let Jalen Hurts finish
Bryce is
out that
super
season.
dynamic.
I think he's really dynamic, and I think that if he
Tua.
is the starter, I think Bama is going to give a lot of people problems because I think their defense is going to be really good
and
this
Najee
year.
Harris might be the Heisman.
Yeah, that's one that we haven't
I
talked
see
about
that.
too. I like that a lot.
He's
Najee
a
Harris.
really good prospect. He runs the ball
North
hard.
Cowboy. He runs
Uh,
that ball hard, and you know they're going to have an offensive line. Sure, they lost a guy or two, but you know that offensive line is stacked.
Devontae
But
Smith
they have
and
two
Waddle.
returning guys on O-line.
Yeah, but I think their defense is going to beat up some people.
B said it. They have, you know, Waddle and Smith returning on the
Oh,
outside.
fuck, forgot about that.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dylan Moses.
Devontae Smith is a
Are you kidding me?
legit prospect.
We talked about their weapons last year, or just Tua's weapons in general. I mean,
Insane.
literally like 4 first rounders, like guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. That was an
That was
argument.
nuts.
That was an argument I fucking hated.
Yeah,
was-
it was kind of like, is Tua that high because he had the best wide receiver core
Well,
in the
the
nation.
problem was they kept saying Burrows is the only good. Is Burrow only good because of his playmakers? But Tua had just as good, if not better, playmakers. Running.
Tua had better.
Freaking Jerry Judy, are you kidding me?
and Henry Ruggs,
Ruggs, Judy,
like
top 15 picks.
yeah, two of them. So I mean, I get
Waddell
that.
is a guy.
You got
especially
Dylan
on
Moses
special
back
teams. Yeah.
on defense.
Dylan Moses
linebacker.
returning was big for their defense. That's
Yeah.
the leader, the captain.
Preseason All-American Patrick Surtain the second.
Surtain is a dude.
I mean, they're good. Let's talk about the rest of the conference. You got LSU returning national champion.
yes.
You know, they only returned 8 starters altogether.
Yeah, Tyler Shelvin.
Their whole
fucking
offense,
Marshall.
their whole offense went to the league. How crazy
I mean,
is that?
Except Jamar Chase. But
The
yeah, that's
best,
wild.
probably the
Right.
best offensive player in that conference.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is
don't
the
know.
best
I wasn't
offensive player in that
They had
conference.
Joe Burrow.
Well, he says in the conference this year.
Now. Yeah.
Oh,
now,
in the
I mean,
conference
his
now?
court,
Yes.
his court, the receivers never get that love when their quarterback throws fucking 50
But-
touchdowns.
Well, and
know.
their
I think
core
Najee
was
Harris.
so fucking good that, I mean, you shoot
you like
fish in
Najee
a
Harris
barrel
over
there.
Jamar Chase?
I think I might take Najee Harris.
Oh my
We
God.
talk about
Jamar
shelf
Chase
lives.
had 20 tugs, dude.
Talk about
Like,
shelf lives of receivers compared to receivers compared to running backs. Running backs are, it's tough to say, but you can find a good running back to get the ball with a good offensive line.
But if he's like,
it's hard to find a receiver that's going to beat that one-on-one guy.
I agree
know
with
what I mean?
you, but
That's,
if-
that might
but
elite stuff.
Najee Harris might separate himself to be one of those elite guys after this year.
every Bama running back eventually does.
No, not
They
necessarily.
have so many first-round pick running backs.
you,
It's
bro.
like-
running
ridiculous.
back you.
Both Scarborough and they had other guys who were just there.
He's a dude.
well, after
like-
4 years.
Yeah.
But Bo was a guy because of how good that offensive line was.
Right.
Gets to the league, he's not that great.
All right, so let's talk about LSU.
He's okay. He's okay.
Hey, he had
Yeah.
a good fantasy week.
Yeah, that was a huge sleeper pickup. Huge sleeper pickup. Boom. Wow.
So LSU only return 8 starters. They got Burrow's gone, Joe Brady's gone, and I want to ask this question. I wrote this down. Bigger loss, Joe Burrow or Joe Brady?
Joe
Well,
Brady.
Because they went back and forth. Was it Joe Burrow's system? That's why he was good, and was because of Brady, or was Joe Burrow the Heisman? That's why they were good. What's a bigger loss for them this year?
Brady pulling the strings.
Cody's not going to like the answers.
No, I mean
I like
I
Joe Brady as the offense coordinator in now Carolina. I think that's a huge loss. He helped develop a guy. I think Joe Burrow's a guy, but he helped develop that. Burrow doesn't become like junior to senior year without him.
What do you think, K-Morgan?
I think losing Joe Brady is obviously the biggest loss for the team.
I agree.
And then if we're just talking biggest loss for LSU, they lost like every player on defense.
But isn't that crazy? Let's just talk about it for a second. You lost a Heisman quarterback, and we're all saying the coach that wasn't even offensive coordinator or the head coach was the biggest loss. That's how much of an impact he had on that program.
They bring a lot more. You talk about recruiting, system. There's a million things that go into losing a coach. And then, again, one player on a football team, it's, his offensive line.
And I know he was pick 1-1, but I don't think there's a huge drop-off from Joe Burrow to Miles Brennan.
Wow.
Well,
As far as arm strength, feet work, you guys a player.
I think B's got a pick
Yeah.
coming for LSU.
Shut the fuck up.
Touching back on Brady and Burrow, though, you have a guy that has pretty much no ego. He's willing to just accept pretty much fucking anything. It's a good recipe, basically.
Yeah.
But
He really doesn't know who he is as a quarterback.
let's step back for a second and Burrow wasn't a chump.
Hey, he wasn't a chump. He wasn't a chump, but
No,
it
he's
was
a Heisman trophy. He had the most
a-
passing yards.
And I think we got to
of
put that
all
in
time.
perspective. He had the most passing touchdowns.
We'll pump your Bengals dick.
no,
in a
I
minute.
do
Yeah,
agree.
it's not. It's not.
But you saying that bullshit there's not a big drop off.
No, I in that offense, losing Brady is worse than losing Burrow because I think Miles Brennan, especially in the college game, could come in with Jamar Chase and those weapons. They still have
I don't
weapons
think
on
they-
offense.
I don't
he
think Brady-
wouldn't come close to Joe Burrow's numbers if he was in the same system
With the
this
same
year.
team?
With the same team.
Like last year, Miles Brennan over Joe
Yeah.
Burrow?
No, I think Miles Brennan could go in there and be a legitimate Heisman threat with that same team. Obviously, they lost everyone.
I don't think so.
Miles Brennan has a better, stronger arm than Burrow.
Doesn't matter about stronger arm.
Yes,
Herbert,
it does. Yes,
Herbert
it
has
does.
a strong arm. He got drafted 5 picks
No,
later.
yes, it does
Yeah,
at
check
the
the hot
college.
route and run up the
It
fucking
does at
middle.
the college level when you have that elite coaching.
See, I disagree. I think decision making is the biggest thing in Joe Brady's offense. Is Joe Burrow's ability and intellectual ability to break down a defense and make reads based on what Brady was saying. Joe Burrow was literally calling plays during the year last year where Joe Brady was like, take it. Take the offense and run with it. So I don't want to hear
But who makes that development?
Yeah.
It's not
Joe Brady.
that's what I'm
Burrow making all these adjustments.
That's what I'm saying. That's Brady
1 year
building up
apart.
Burrow's ego.
But he's
not-
saying he would do the same thing for Brennan.
That's Brady
Yes.
building up his confidence.
I think he would develop him, but I
I
don't
think Miles Brennan would, with Joe Brady, would develop just as strong as Joe did.
I think he would develop him.
But I don't think you get a Heisman.
But that's
You don't get a Heisman out of.
That would be my
yes, you
argument.
do with
You know?
that kind of offensive firepower.
I don't agree.
think so.
I don't
think
agree.
so.
I just
I
think
think
that
you're
was a
reaching a
good
little
recipe
bit.
for them.
It's
I think
hard
it meshed
to-
really well. I don't think.
Granted, we can
I don't
all
think
agree
so.
that LSU did have a ton of weapons. Their offensive line
ton.
was stacked. So I get.
I'm
but
not trying to
B's
take away
point-
from Burrow.
B's point is saying, Miles Brennan, his junior senior year, has a legitimate chance with those weapons.
Right.
So and I don't think that's a stretch. I do think that it's a little bit of a stretch because we haven't seen him play.
I think it's a little bit of
I think that's
disrespect
why
to
I'd say it's a
what
little
Joe
bit of a stretch.
Burrow brought to the field on his intellectual ability to grasp
He
information
had a
and process.
He had a great
information.
year. I'm so like caught up in the college game of what Joe Brady did for Joe Burrow in 1 year was outstanding. That's why he got a NFL job immediately.
So does it speak more?
Yeah, but is that more timing?
How do
Is
I
that more
want to word
just
this
timing
question?
and situation?
This is the last question I'll ask on this topic, but will it say more? I mean, who is it more important to have success this year? Is it Joe Burrow away from Joe Brady, or is it Joe Brady away from Joe Burrow in the NFL?
Joe Burrow away from Joe Brady.
It's more important for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Okay.
see. I don't think so because you're going into an NFL system where your head coach is a QB coach.
Matt Rule.
No,
You're talking
about
Joe Burrow.
Zach
He's going
Taylor.
into the Zach Taylor offense. Ton of weapons. I don't think it's like the separation. You're not going to have what you had at college, obviously, but I think it's more important for Joe Brady to give
Okay.
Teddy Bridgewater a leg up in that division.
Okay.
I think the
Did
better
we all see
answer.
Joe Burrow running for his life in practice today?
Yeah, I did.
That,
I
guys,
love that
was
shit.
actually a scrambled drill.
No,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
Literally.
Chalk it up.
Hey,
to
maybe your
scramble.
D-line's just that good.
Yeah.
You see that touchdown to Tyler Boyd in the
Yeah, he
corner,
did throw
7 on
Tyler
7?
Boyd touchdown.
I see that.
Okay, let's talk about the rest of the conference. We got topic
Yeah,
for a bit.
let's get going.
So LSU.
Let's just who's your pick?
Who's our pick?
Yeah,
I got Bama.
We talked
Yeah.
the talk two.
Bama, LSU, then Auburn.
Georgia.
No,
No, on the
this
west.
side.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were just going SEC championship. I
No.
thought we were going into it.
Who's in there with Georgia?
Oh, Bama.
Bama.
It's Bama.
Bama,
Yeah,
if
Bama.
they start Bryce Young.
I think he will, and I think that
You
They're
have
gonna be
no
tough.
faith in Mac Jones, huh?
They're
No, don't give me a Mac Jones game.
I don't think Mac Jones is bad. I just
I don't think so
Bryce is
either.
more
I
dynamic.
like Mac Jones.
I don't think so either.
I think Mac Jones could legitimately transfer to another school and have a lot of success.
He can have lots of success there. I mean, I think let him start. He knows.
Why would
he
you
did
leave
fine when he
Bama?
played last
I think
year.
Dylan Moses returning is huge.
I just think that defense.
Bama,
is
Bama
really
returning.
I
for the
actually,
West.
I actually think
I mean, they have Alex Leatherwood returning too, O-line. He's supposed to
Yeah.
go in the first fucking round.
Yeah.
Of course. It's
I
a line in
actually,
Bama.
I'm really big on A&M this year.
So that's my
Wow.
sleeper.
I'm really big on it. Mon,
That's my sleeper.
I think he's going to play better.
I have A&M
I-
coming behind Auburn.
Yeah,
But
but-
I don't think they
No.
compete more than
No.
Auburn does.
A&M has the most starters returning on any of the teams in the West.
Yeah. See why
Um,
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think you and I talked about A&M last year on a couple bets that we made. A&M covers. They're tough. They were young last year. They're returning, like you said.
Okay.
Their defense needs to improve.
So it's either this
But-
year or next year.
No, it's this year.
It's this year.
It's this year.
Okay.
Jimbo Fisher is. This
Nice.
is his time now. Like we talked about
Nice.
with the Texas coach. Like he's like 3 years in. This is where Jimbo Fisher turns that corner and they become a team.
I think
love
LSU
that.
takes a step back.
I think so too.
Yep.
I think A&M comes in second in that
Same.
conference.
And I think Auburn 4.
Wow.
I've
I
told
think
you before. I'm
Auburn.
out on Auburn. B
I
had a
fucking
couple
hate
things.
Auburn.
No, I have Auburn second.
That's really
Auburn
high.
second over LSU?
That is dangerously high.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say it.
Yeah.
You just said they have the ability. Oh, I guess there's no Joe Brady, but
No Joe Brady, but I'm just a huge Chase guy. Like he's an
But he's a
elite,
receiver,
he's an
but-
elite wide receiver.
But-
But that doesn't change. I have Auburn coming second.
That doesn't change his
I think
solo
Auburn
stock.
lost,
You know,
lost
he's
a
gonna
little
go.
much on the defensive side of the ball, and I think, like we talked, Bo Nix is not the guy.
All right, so that's our college football preview. Broke down the 3 conferences, and that was fun. I can't wait for college football. That got me fired up.
Parlay,
Yeah.
I wish we had
parlay.
college
So-
game day.
I'm
Parlay.
hammering the board Saturday.
So let's just talk. Who's the best teams out of those 3 conferences?
Ooh, best team.
Who's playing it? Who's playing in the bowl?
So
the
we're
national
saying-
championship.
There's a championship,
Is there a championship? 4 teams?
or 4 teams, or we got 2.
Let's just say
four
Ohio
teams.
State goes to the SEC.
Oh, no. Let's say 2 teams. Your 2 best
All right,
teams.
yeah. Your two best teams?
2 best teams. Who's playing?
I got Georgia, Clemson.
Wow.
I'm with CY. Georgia, Clemson.
I have Alabama, Clemson.
I got Bama, Clemson
Yeah,
again.
it's not.
Okay.
It's not even.
So-
I think no.
not even an
I'm
argument.
gonna reference CY earlier. No matter who's playing that QB spot, they're going to be elite.
Georgia.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a couple of QB battles here. So we got Jamie Newman, JT Daniels. Who starts for Georgia this year? Because you guys both think Georgia's in the national championship, so you have an opinion on who is playing QB.
I'm coming with the comeback of JT Daniels. I'm sticking at a hometown, modern day. I love Daniels' arm strength. I think he could compete, and with the run game, if he has a legit run game and throws the pickings, like he can be really good.
I think Newman actually starts. He's actually leading the way. They said, like in Vegas, he's actually the favorite.
He is the favorite.
You can bet on who's gonna start.
Yeah, you can bet on that.
I love Vegas.
I would say Newman, I think, is going to get the nod, but I think they both bring a different dynamic to that team, and what they have around them is just so good that even I think they run with Newman because I think he has a legit chance to be like a difference maker and playmaker.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I would love to see Daniels, to be honest. I want to see him be successful.
Yeah, I want him to be successful.
He was successful at SC, man.
So, yeah, my thing with both
injury.
QBs, they were both really successful in college football. Newman, on the one hand, like at Wake Forest last year, put up a lot of points, was really good. I bet on him a couple times. I liked him a lot.
Right.
And then Daniels, on the other hand, was the number one QB, left early out of high school to be the guy for USC.
Left early.
Personally, I think, if we're talking who's going to get the job done, you think about Trevor Lawrence versus, the QB that they had that transferred out a couple years back who went to Missouri, Kelly Bryant. So and then the passer ended up winning that battle, and I think this might happen with JT Daniels too.
I could see it.
So I could see that.
I like
happening.
both guys a lot, man. I think that it's really unfortunate they both end up the same spot.
But you're saying that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter
so
who's
you're saying
QB.
Regardless.
Yeah, regardless.
I'm rooting for the hometown guy, but I agree. So regardless, I think both guys are
I'm big
legit.
on Georgia this year.
Okay.
Wow.
Last thing I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the true freshman incoming QBs. We talked about them a little bit. Bryce, and we also got what's his name? Clemson, true freshman.
Oh,
The Hawaiian dude.
Yeah.
From St. Bosco.
DJ.
St. John?
DJ. Unga.
Dude, we're going to butcher that.
So who's going to have a better career in the long run?
DJ.
He's
in college or the NFL. What are you talking? What are we talking? DJ is going to be a guy at Clemson and take it into the NFL.
Yes, DJ's going to get everything he wanted and more when Lawrence is gone.
Interesting. It's kind of like almost like a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields thing.
You know what's so crazy about this whole thing?
The two of them. Think about it.
Little backgrounds. They played in the same high school conference.
Yeah.
And one went to Modern Day, one went to St. John Bosco, both in Southern California. And they were both back and forth as the number 1 and 2 rated
elites
players in the country.
Fourth.
They went back and forth the whole time. Bryce Young was actually committed to USC. Then after this whole mess with Daniels not playing and Slovis being the guy, he decided to opt out because Slovis is only a true freshman or a redshirt freshman last year.
He'll be a sophomore now.
Yeah. So Bryce wanted a chance to play, went to Bama. DJ was an early Clemson commit. He was an early graduate. These guys have been competing with each other for a long time, from the Elite 11.
Oh, yeah. And after this season, when Lawrence is gone, that's what it will be again.
Yeah. So, B, did you have DJ?
Yeah, I have DJ.
Okay. I think
I've watched him in person.
Yeah, Bryce?
I have Bryce. Like we talked about, he's so dynamic, especially in college. If we're talking specifically college success, I think that's a bigger win for Bama to have him than I do Clemson.
I think so, too.
Like Saban's system with a dynamic QB we saw with Tua gets it done.
I think...
Yeah.
But, you can't count out Clemson ever.
Here's a little comparison I'll give you. I think Bryce comps to Jalen Hurts, where I think DJ comps to Trevor Lawrence.
That's a bit of a reach.
I see him playing out a little bit better than Hurts.
I think Lawrence is a little bit of a better prospect and a little bit of a passer than DJ.
DJ can sling that
Dude,
thing,
yeah, I've watched DJ in person.
I think
that guy is unreal.
No, he's great. Don't get me wrong. I think Bryce is a better passer than Jalen, though. I think he's a little more Tua in him.
I'll give you that, but Jalen was a second round.
You ever watched an 18-year-old and be like, that guy could go to the NFL
Jalen's
immediately?
Not dynamic.
That
Jalen
was
is
DJ.
great. But I think
was a second round pick.
Yeah, he's good. But I think Bryce is that dude.
He's turning heads
I
in
think
Philly
Bryce
camp.
is more Justin
Just
Fields.
that's
what I was going to ask.
He's
I think he's Justin Fields.
Yes.
I don't think he throws the ball as well as Justin Fields, based on what I've seen. I don't think he's that. I think my comp for Justin Fields is Spencer Rattler. I think they're.
How does that?
I-
Oh, wow.
I think.
So you think Oklahoma's going to be really good?
I think Oklahoma's been really good, but then I also like Daniels out of Arizona State, who I'm not gonna be able to see this year.
We talked about
And
that.
he was
I
my
like
kind
Daniels
of.
a lot.
He was my Fields too. So I think DJ is a dynamic. I think DJ can do stuff that Bryce can't, but Bryce can also do stuff DJ can't.
That's
but
what I think.
It's not that big of a gap, especially in the longevity of it. I think DJ will be a higher NFL pick.
Yeah.
I think their college careers will be similar. I think they'll both have a ton of success. They might play each other a few times.
How many
I
national
love it.
championships do each one of them come out with?
One gets 2, one gets 1, because one's in beat the little. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Last topic before we close college football. I just want to talk about kind of the impact of the 1 and 2 QBs out of Southern California. Historically, when we talk about Southern California high school quarterbacks, it's Matt Barkley's going to USC. Matt Leinert's going to USC.
JT Daniels. SC.
Josh Rosen's going to UCLA.
Carson
Yeah.
Palmer.
Yeah, and then now we talk Bryce and DJ, Bryce Love, DJ, they're going to Clemson, Alabama. Does that speak to kind of the landscape of where college football is at today?
Yeah.
And
100%.
that USC and UCLA doesn't have the pool that they used to.
I don't think it's more necessarily the landscape of college football where it's at. I think it's a slap in the face. It's a direct slap in the face, and it's a wake-up call to SC, UCLA for not taking care of and putting the funds in the facilities into the recruiting,
The coaching staff.
the
I would-
coaching staff.
I would say it's recruiting and coaching staff.
It's coaching
mostly. They
staff.
have top
Think about
tier
the last 10
facilities.
years.
Yeah,
But Chip Kelly's no slouch. Chip Kelly's
no
going to bring
slouch.
guys
They're
in.
But it's-
paying Chip Kelly tons of money. SC, you can say the coach, but look at the facilities you get in the SEC. Look at the fan.
Well, we've seen Clemson's
But if you're a
locker
top
room.
100 prospect quarterback, you're not trusting Chip Kelly with your career.
you're
Oh,
trying
I
to
would.
throw to Jamar fucking Chase. Is what you're trying to do.
I think it's
like-
you know what? I want to play in a national championship game.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And
I think the bigger the stage, the bigger your name.
And when we were
Always.
growing up, when Pete Carroll was the
I
coach
think
for
that's a good
USC, you
Every
knew
quarterback wanted to go there because
you knew you were going to compete for that national
yeah,
championship.
you're in
And-
that Rose Bowl. You're
I agree with
fighting. You're
that.
on the biggest stage.
And I hate him to death. But like I said, when Matt Leinart, we can talk about the names on those teams, but like, god damn, it's like when he was the guy, you know what I mean, at Modern Day, and he went there, and that was just, and it's not like that anymore.
I
It's
think,
not.
And it's
I think
tough to see from a
finally-
college football span.
It's because
Because for
not
college
the
football-
location for college
And as a
football
college football
anymore. It's
fan,
not the Oasis anymore.
we like when the talent is spread, and you have teams in Southern California that are competing,
Yeah.
and it's just not like
Yeah,
that anymore.
it's-
I
It's
think
upsetting.
like that.
finally, I mean, when this COVID situation kind of screwed it all up, but I think finally, SC is up there. It's finally kind of getting its legs back. I believe.
I would hope so.
I don't think they'll get a new coach.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think until Helton's gone.
Tell Helms.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just he.
I mean, I
the thing with
agree.
USC is they will get the elite one recruit 5-star that is a absolute diehard USC fan that grew up loving USC, but they're not going to get the Joe McKnight who grew up in Louisiana that Pete Carroll brought over and blew up for them. You know what I
Right.
mean? They don't get that anymore,
Right.
and that's what's kind of dropping off, and that's where Bama is winning.
Yeah.
And that's where Michigan's
So they're
winning with Harbaugh.
solely recruiting on the West Coast.
But I think
You know?
I think that
Yes and
Michigan
no.
poll is done now.
You
I
think that mystique is
that
done?
clown Harbaugh is
So you think it's more Clemson, Bama is
it's all
winning,
it
and
is.
Ohio State?
And Ohio State, but
Yeah.
Ohio State's not pulling those SoCal guys
No,
like those
Ohio
other two
State's
are.
pulling everything, dude.
But they are, but they're not pulling the SoCal guys like Bama and Clemson are. They're pulling. I mean, but then again, number one recruit in the country just decommitted from Clemson has a chance. I think he's gonna end up at SC.
I think he will too, actually, because he's got
Wow.
a lot of
Number-
teammates from Centennial.
And yeah, local guy Corona.
Foreman, shout out.
Yeah.
Corey Foreman, Drake Jackson
Yeah.
is already
Gary
there.
Bryant, his receiver.
Gary Bryant, who's a top.
So that you
25?
think there's a chance he goes SC?
I think there's a
that's
legitimate
huge
chance.
for SC.
They're getting players, man. They're still getting.
But that's what I'm saying. They get the elite, but they don't get that 4-star from
no.
another area that does bring that value, that linebacker safety from Florida.
You don't get that Georgia linebacker.
That
That
Pete
big
Carroll,
5-star
but
hog.
Pete Carroll
Yeah.
had that pull.
They will when Helm's gone.
Pete Carroll had that pull. Like Brian Cushing was a New Jersey linebacker. You know what I mean? That came to USC because he wanted to play with Carroll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The guys like that Malalugas. You know. So
That's
that's
our college-
that's the little college landscape. that I
That's our
wanna
college
touch on.
football preview, man. That was fun to talk about. I mean, love college football. We're excited for it. We'll be talking about it all year, so hopefully we get some good games. Hopefully we get some
Yeah.
fans. Hopefully we get some college game days.
Peppering the board Saturdays.
College game day.
Parlay.
Parlay.
All right, time for the battle. Time to hate each other again once a week that we do. Just literally go at it, just pissed off. sticking with the college theme, we're going to go better QB prospect. Okay, so not career, but better prospect going to the NFL.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson this year, or Andrew Luck when he came out was the number 1 pick by the Colts. Start with K. Moore, college football expert.
So it's between the two. Obviously, both are. I mean, I think they were both 5-star prospects at high school. They both have had incredible college careers. I give the edge to Andrew Luck. Personally, I think Andrew Luck out of college, it was just destiny that he was the guy. I think they even said the year before when you had the guys like Sam Bradford, Stafford that was in the mix, Colt McCoy, you had Tebow, that was kind of the guys that college football was absolutely stacked that year with QBs. And Andrew Luck, and with RG3 as well, who won the Heisman over him.
Yeah.
You had Andrew Luck was just the guy. There was no question about it. What do you guys got on Luck?
Luck was the guy. He was automatic. First pick guy.
Yeah.
He's been referred to as the best college QB since Peyton.
Who do you got, Matt?
As far as
who's your pick?
My pick is Trevor Lawrence.
Why?
Yeah.
I just think he has more zip on his ball. I like his stature. I like his running ability. I also refer to Clemson as NFLU, dude. Nobody goes there and is unsuccessful.
Where's his billboard? Tell me that. In January?
So there's
fucking
this is what it's going to be about?
No, those were billboards in
Indianapolis
in January.
Yeah, was like
they were 1-15. Their one win was against Pittsburgh. Fucker.
But who's to say that that's not going to happen this year? They haven't even played the damn schedule yet. Wait till it's January.
Indianapolis
and
is
going to be. You don't think there was tank for Tua? What do you think's going to happen with Trevor Lawrence when they're going to be like, okay, lose the rest? The Patriots, Bill Belichick
COVID for Lawrence.
Bill Belichick is making his players sit out this season so we can get fucking Trevor Lawrence.
Conspiracy.
And I love it though because it's not that far off.
It's not.
Andrew Luck was his last 2 seasons at Stanford, over 30 touchdowns, 3,000 yards. Name a weapon. Please name a weapon.
Zach Ertz.
That's a good weapon.
That's a good weapon.
That's
Toby Gerhardt.
Shut me the fuck up.
No. Here's what separates it. I mean,
Stanford tight ends.
Stanford tight ends, legit. Stanford tight ends, valid. But also prototypical offense. When we talk about the system that Luck was in,
11-man
to
personnel.
Yes, it was under center, I formation, like NFL formations.
Yeah,
let's be honest. Trevor Lawrence, a lot of shotgun.
But the NFL's kind of moving to that game now. They're adapting to their quarterbacks.
It's not away from that under center.
No, but they're
Derrick
adapting.
Henry is still a running back in the NFL.
Well, Lamar Jackson's now an MVP quarterback.
That's one.
You know what I mean?
There's still more systems that are running the ball under center.
There was zero doubt. I mean, I know there's zero doubt with both guys, but remember, just try to go back a little bit. Try to go back a little bit and remember.
6 years?
The Colts lost Manning to the neck injury. Pretty much gave up that season.
And I'm sorry, but that's the separation. You released
Peyton
Manning toward the end of his career, valid, but he still won a Super Bowl afterward, led the league in rushing, and got an MVP after they let him go. He was still doing his thing.
Super Bowl.
And they said, you know what? Andrew Luck is our future.
That good.
Past Peyton Manning, who was one of the best QBs of all time.
But if you're in that position, you know what I mean? Like, if Manning would have won 10 games that year and didn't have the neck injury, we wouldn't even be talking about that. But the fact that he was aging on an expiring contract, they were like, we're an opportunity to get this guy. He's the ability to step in right away and
fucking buy the billboard thing.
I disagree.
You don't buy the billboard
Trevor
thing.
Lawrence is going to go to the fucking Washington football fucking team. And they're going to have billboards all over the goddamn place.
That's a prediction.
So,
I mean, B. Ramick shouting you out. Hopefully you live after that bet, dude.
But I disagree because I think if Andrew Luck, let's say that whole neck injury, and let's say the Colts went 0-16 that year, they would trade back to help out that defense rather than drafting Trevor Lawrence at that point in his career.
But that's Peyton Manning's at 8 years previous. You know what I mean? They knew he was older and expiring. He only had, 3 years after that? 4 years?
I'm telling
he won a Super Bowl.
I'm telling
I get
you
that.
right now, you do not go 1-15 to 11-5.
But I don't want to make this about not Andrew Luck.
I think Trevor
I want to
Lawrence
make
takes
this
him there.
for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has that kind of moxie that Andrew Luck never had.
I respect Trevor
Andrew Luck
Lawrence.
didn't have that moxie. Andrew Luck, he was a ball player. Regardless of a quarterback, he's a nerd.
He's a
Regardless
nerd,
of
but he's a dude.
That dude would go and tackle people downfield.
Oh, he would.
He was tough as shit.
I mean, that's why he's out
That
the
dude
league
was
now.
that dude was legit.
I fucking hate football.
I think there was a
No
fumble.
shit, you're a QB
There was a fumble that he
playing
literally
fucking
ran a linebacker over. to get a fumble, and he made that guy fumble. Like that
Yeah,
dude
but
was
Tim
a
Tebow would have done the same
beast.
fucking thing.
Oh,
So
stop.
that
Don't-
is not
Please don't
even
mention that guy
close
into this
to the
conversation.
Tebow was a great
I'm not-
college QB. We're
I'm
talking
not-
about prospects.
But
to the
prospect,
NFL.
but Trevor Lawrence
I'm
is
not disrespecting Lawrence, but
We're
he's
not.
not going to an NFL team that is going to win 3-4 games,
But-
2 games, and be a playoff team.
But Trevor
That's a-
Lawrence
yeah.
has more intangibles than Andrew Luck, or
Which
better,
are?
Better physical attributes. I mean,
I don't
Andrew
know.
Luck is a beast.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
Physically?
But physically, Trevor Lawrence is
Andrew
6
Luck is a beast.
I know, but Trevor Lawrence is a bigger beast.
They didn't
He's
give Andrew
faster.
Luck an offensive line for 6 years. Look what happened to him.
He's faster. He
The
has
guy's a monster.
A better arm. He is
This is
taller.
exactly what I'm
He is
fucking
more
saying.
of an athlete than Andrew Luck is.
Yes.
Andrew Luck is intangible.
Andrew
Don't
Luck
get me
is
wrong.
6'4".
Easily.
It's not like
And Trevor Lawrence is
6'6".
6'6".
Oh,
And
those 2 inches are fucking really getting to you, huh?
100%.
If you're 5'10",
If
if you're 6'1",
this is what I'm saying.
Okay,
If you're
that's a huge
5'11",
difference.
That
if
is a
you're
difference.
5'11"
Agreed.
to 6'1",
But 6'4" to 6'6".
That's a huge.
That's
Trevor
not a
Lawrence,
huge
No.
difference.
Trevor Lawrence has
No.
a rocket arm. He's faster.
Andrew
He's more
Luck.
Oh.
mobile.
I don't want to
Against the
disrespect my
Bengals,
Clemson guy, but
against the Bengals, like we've seen this highlight where he is literally getting sacked. Andrew Luck is physical. That man is stronger.
he's getting sacked,
He's
throws a
getting
dime.
sacked, throws a dime to the
He's
back of that
obviously
end
not
zone.
that much physically able to get out of.
And that is a huge problem with the Colts.
Prospect.
We're talking, hey, draft day comes, 1-1, right? Yeah, both are going to be locks, but, like, there's no bigger lock than when Andrew
Yeah,
Luck on that
that's-
draft day.
that's
Trevor
what I
Lawrence
think.
is the biggest lock this year. By
Justin Fields is fighting for him.
No, he's not.
Yes, he
He's
is.
not close.
There's some mocks
No,
that
he's
think,
not.
and I'm
It's
not
not
saying
close.
I
It's
don't
not
think
close.
I don't think Justin
Come
Fields is good as
on.
Trevor Lawrence, but I have seen mocks to where people are arguing it.
Not even
That's
close.
where I
No,
think
people
that's
are arguing it. No one
People are arguing
argued.
it.
Not
RG3.
smart people.
No one
That's just for
argued.
the
Yes, they
rebuttal.
did.
Smart
No,
people.
they
That's just for the
didn't.
rebuttal.
RJ3, they argued
They
him
did-
all.
They did not
No, it wasn't
overpick one.
close. It wasn't close.
Okay.
They argued who was going to trade up
It's-
for
it's-
pick 2.
okay, it's the
and
same-
good job, Washington
It's the
football
same
team.
thing on this argument. Like, no one's arguing that Trevor Lawrence is not the guy. Like, Trevor Lawrence is the guy. Even the last 3 years, they
Well,
said
we're talking
if Trevor
about-
Lawrence came out, he's the number
Yeah.
one pick.
I'm not saying
Andrew Luck was the same thing.
I'm not saying that's not true, but we're arguing like Andrew Luck, Lawrence. Obviously, lots
So,
of
okay,
1-1.
you're
But
saying-
the bigger 1-1 pick is the guys with billboard. The guy that turned the team around from 1-15 to playoff teams. The guy that you looked at and you're like, that's it. That's
Trevor
the goat.
Lawrence is going to have a billboard.
So going to
Trevor
the
Lawrence
intangibles. Cody's talking
He's on a
intangibles. You're saying you think Trevor Lawrence has a better arm.
Better arm.
He's got better zip on the ball, dude.
faster and moves better in the pocket.
I don't know if he's faster.
I think he's faster.
He's faster than
I think
Luck.
he's faster. I think he's more
Luck-
elusive.
Did
Luck
you
is
see that
sneaky
play, like
athletic.
that game-changing play against Ohio State?
Yeah, where he ran
he ran a
like
60-yard touchdown.
60-yard touchdown.
I was so
A
No,
impressed.
that was sick. Don't get me wrong.
What?
Cody,
cannot do
Cody
that.
tweeted after that play. He said, "Best college prospect ever."
He did.
Well, first of all, Blaine's words were, he is
So,
the best college
hey.
prospect ever. And if he scores a touchdown this drive,
Okay.
you have to tweet that.
Hold on.
Hey, hold on.
Wait, hold on. Did you say that?
I did.
Okay, so argument over.
He wasn't thinking. He was blacked out.
I was hammered.
You fucking lost.
Right. We were all there. But here's Andrew Luck ran a 4.6 40-yard dash for his combine. So you're telling me Trevor Lawrence is going to run something faster than
You're
that?
saying
I think
Lawrence
so.
running
I think he
4.6.
could.
Yeah, I
No
think he
way.
I think
Yeah,
he could.
4.6 is moving.
I think he could. And if they are 4.6 and 4.6 fucking 7,
Lawrence is faster.
Lawrence has more acceleration and he's more elusive.
Arm
Luck-
strength.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck had an arm.
Andrew-
dude.
Arm strength over. Come on. This is to be honest. We're being honest.
Yeah,
I'm being
Andrew
honest.
Luck.
Intangibles like brain wise.
Andrew Luck.
If you watch
better arm
Andrew
to throw
Luck,
down a field.
you watch Andrew Luck's
Trevor
combine.
Lawrence.
Football IQ.
Football IQ is Luck.
Luck.
Okay,
Stronger arm. That's accurate. Is Trevor Lawrence.
Accuracy? Andrew Luck.
I think that's push.
I
think
mean, we're
that's a
talking
push.
about a guy we've seen in
That's
the
Andrew
NFL
Luck.
for
Mac
7
knows.
years.
That's
You won't
Andrew
even
Luck.
say that Trevor Lawrence has a stronger arm that we all
Okay,
know that.
Sure, Trevor Lawrence might have
Okay.
a stronger arm.
I don't know.
Might. He does.
But,
have a
like,
stronger
I mean,
okay.
I'm not gonna argue.
I
with
don't
the,
think that drop off is very far though.
I'm not
like,
gonna
at
argue
all.
with the arm accuracy.
But I think the
I'm
arm
not gonna argue
accuracy,
with that.
Luck,
I think that's a push.
Luck's accuracy is way.
I think that's a
heavier
push
than-
as
And
well.
I don't think that the
And
intellectual side of
strength-
it's that's big of a push.
No,
or
I
that
think that's
big
a
of
big.
reach.
I think that's a
I
big.
don't.
That's a big
difference.
gap.
The
I don't think it's a
intellectual
big.
is
You know
a big
why
gap.
you think it's a big
Yeah.
gap? Because Andrew Luck acted like a nerd all this time. Trevor Lawrence has been prepping to be this guy for the last 10 years of his life. He's been the number one, like you said, from junior high to high school to college. You don't think he's doing anything else but wanting to be a quarterback in the
Getting
league?
engaged. He's doing a lot of bullshit, bro. I don't know.
They're doing a lot
kind
of
of
bullshit.
When
For the
Yeah,
smoke,
you said you could have been better.
he could do
yeah, I
better.
know.
He could
Exactly.
do way
That's why
better.
he's not a guy.
Okay.
when
He just needs to hold out one more year.
That play, that's a factor.
I'm telling you right
He's not a
now,
block.
no matter who your QB was at the time, I'm not joking. No matter who it was, 32 teams watered at the mouth for Andrew Luck during that combine.
Yeah.
The water this year too. You'll see.
No,
All right,
they
so
like him.
that's the battle. It was a good battle. Let us know who
That's
you
a
think.
tough one.
That's
They
a tough
released
one.
That's a
Peyton
fucking
Manning
tough
for
one.
Andrew Luck.
All right, so it's time for our weekly gambling picks. This one's a little bit interesting. So, as many of you know, my son is born on September 6th.
It's due date.
That's the due date.
He's not born yet.
Oh, yeah, sorry. His due date
Yes.
is September 6th. Our bets are going to be when is he going to come, the date, the time, and the weight. So I'm obviously not going to participate in it. I'm going to let you three, and then we have B. Ramix.
You don't want in on this action?
No, I'll let you guys have it. You guys get to win.
okay. All right.
Fine.
You guys get to win this one. Let's say the winner gets. Well, we'll figure out what the winner
Kevin
gets.
won mine.
Middle naming rights.
Gets to hold him first.
Gets to hold him first.
Yeah, I don't know about
Out of
that.
us three?
Ooh.
I think that's kind of guaranteed to me.
No.
Kevin,
Fuck you.
Kevin Morgan's a blood relative.
you want to bet?
I'm also fucking blood here.
That is true. People
disres-
forget that. We are
disrespect
cousins.
Matt, dude.
Back is blood.
Fuck.
I know.
Oh my
B-
God.
Dude,
might as well be blood.
Uncle B's all day one, dude.
All right, so we'll
Never
figure
go
out.
against the family.
We'll figure out. How about this? Here's a good one. Okay, week one, we watch the NFL at my house. I have MM2 TVs.
Yes.
All right.
They get to pick what the second
Games.
TV is.
Ooh.
You get to watch your team on the second game.
Oh, you would love. I fucking love this
love
bet.
I hope
to
Mac
watch a
loses.
fucking
That's a good bet.
Pittsburgh Steelers
Well, actually, I would
game,
love to
baby.
be in your corner and be like, oh, fucking nice run, -4.
Oh, this is good
Fuck
bet.
you.
So yeah,
I'm all in on
you
this.
get
You
your,
get the TV.
You get the TV.
You get the TV remote.
the remote
For the day.
For the day. That
Control
TV.
the volume,
that TV.
everything. Volume
So,
is clutch.
hold
No,
on.
volume's on the big game.
Is
That's
your,
not crazy.
is your TV getting switched around at all or no?
No. Well, my game's afternoon game that day. So the morning game, you can have both TVs actually.
So and
I
actually,
gotta watch
morning
the
game, you
fucking
also get
Super Bowl
sound
every
then
Sunday.
too.
you get sound on the morning
Morning
game.
sound
Oh.
and choice second
Mine's
TV
second
all
TV.
day.
Mine's afternoon too, though. So
All right.
So I mean,
I got Niners Cardinals.
but if someone
That's not a game you even have
If-
to watch.
B wins, he's like, I don't want to watch the Niner game. You don't have to watch the
Well,
Niner
yeah.
game well, that's in the afternoon, even though his team's not playing.
But I can't change the Bengals game.
No.
What the fuck is that?
There's two
It's
TVs.
his fucking house.
Trash. Always trash. This
I hope
guy.
you
Fuck
lose
it.
so hard. All right, let me write these down. So let's go
I'm
with.
not starting first.
I'm going last. Since this is the
Why? 'Cause you're
actual-
blood?
I'll go first.
I want to.
or should we?
I'll go first.
All right,
I'm
B.
gonna map out the landscape here.
Go ahead. Adjust to my fucking pick.
All right, go.
September 3rd,
Oh,
Early.
early baby.
12 Rogers, 47 John Lynch,
47's the time.
AM.
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 Oh,
You're trying to make me not
fuck.
sleep ever.
8
All right.
pounds. Brett Favre, 4 ounces.
All right. Okay.
Mac, what do you have?
All right. Mac, what do you got?
Okay. September 7th.
Okay.
Okay.
You know my wife's gonna hate you that she's
The
going late.
disrespect, dude.
Okay.
September 7th. 10:06 p.m.
Ugh. It's weird. I don't like it.
It's fucking 2 hours away from you, guy.
It is.
I don't
It's
like
literally 2 hours
About
away.
like 4 days.
All right, what do you got?
8.9 ounces.
Oh,
big
You
old
got a
fucking
fucking big ol'-
donkey, baby.
Dude, he's
Alright,
throwing
alright.
heat on the
I'm,
mound.
I'm going. Whoa.
my poor wife.
I'm gonna put a little sabermetrics into this.
Okay.
K Morg, big fucking baby.
Yes.
What?
You were born a big baby.
Big baby.
You were a heavy
Yeah.
baby.
You're a big baby.
Dev,
Came out with biceps
big
and a
fucking
chest.
baby.
Big fucking baby.
Big
Big baby.
Respect.
Okay.
yeah.
Me, big baby. My sister, monster baby.
Monster
Okay,
baby.
there it is.
All right.
fucking
K-
lock it in.
K Morgan, what do you got?
So, all right. I also have September 7th.
Give me a 9-pounder.
I have
Give me a
September 7th.
9-pounder.
Another September 7th.
Okay.
September 7th. I have 7 pounds 4 ounces, which is number 11, which was my college number.
Okay.
So we're
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
What time of the day?
5:22 in the morning, which is number 9, which is Joe Burrow's number.
Ooh, I like that.
So
I like that.
So we're going early morning risers.
Okay.
We're all gonna be up and
Okay.
gonna be celebrating little CJ.
I agree.
Love
I
that.
love that. B Remix is September 8th, which is actually his birthday.
That's his birthday.
September 8th. He's going September 8th. He's going
2 days late.
He's going at
Couple raisins on the 8th.
6 a.m. 6 a.m. and he's going 8 pounds, 8 ounces. He's going 808 Hawaii area. Love that.
That's kind of hard, actually.
Love that. So that's the weekly gambling picks. We'll see. What if I'm gone next week? Then it's early. And
Yeah.
So that would mean
It's
B
just-
wins.
It's
Because
closest to.
Closest
yeah,
to,
also,
right?
but we
Yeah,
also
what?
have weight and we also have
Oh,
weight.
right,
yeah, there's
right,
points.
right.
There's a
Yeah.
point
There's a
system
point
there.
system.
That would be a push. That would be a hard.
Him and
push.
Dev will
Process.
work at a point system right
We'll
there.
work out- no, it's
so
just
it's not like if
whoever's
it's
closest
early,
to each.
like
Well,
I'm not a lock.
Okay, let's decide this right now. What's the hardest to predict?
The date,
The date.
So what
Or
day
no,
or the
no, the
time?
time, obviously.
Time.
I think
And then
time,
I would
obviously.
say weight. Obviously.
No,
No, I
I
think
think-
date over weight.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say date over
I
weight.
mean,
I mean, you got 24 hours in a day.
you have a 2 pound kind of like
Cushion.
window there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't
Not
sleep.
between me and Brandon.
There ain't no
The
sleeping on
fucking
those days too.
0.1 ounce.
That's why I
between
went
me
early.
and Brandon.
Like I'm thinking she's going in September 6th, but it might be a little bit of a long labor, so we're talking 5.
Kind of like mine. That's
So
how you
you're
got
thinking
mine.
she's not pushing that
That's how
baby
you got
out until
mine.
fucking.
I'm not saying she's going in immediately on September 6th. I'm saying maybe she's going at night, and 5 a.m. is.
So what do
push
you think's
time.
harder?
Okay.
What's the order of hardest to predict?
Time.
What's
time
the
weight
line?
date.
What's the line here?
Time, weight, date.
I think time weight date.
Time, weight, date. Yeah.
You guys agreeing to that? I'll let you guys
I
decide.
agree. There's 24 hours in a day. You have a long fucking day.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
you have a long
wait,
day.
you're not gonna get a 15.
Right.
You know.
Time, weight, and date.
Time
Yeah.
weight date.
So let's say time is worth 5 points.
No, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right, fair.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Yeah. Perfect.
Just like we do
It's done.
standings.
It's
That's done.
I got a side bet for Double Down and CY. It's been a rough weekend. It's been a rough kind of 48 hours. I'm going to go after the draft this week, and we have our fantasy football draft because we have fantasy football preview next week. I'm going to go 3-1 odds that I don't drink till NFL season opening day. Whoever wants to take that.
What?
Yeah, I'm going
What?
to take 3 weeks off so I can give my liver
You're not gonna drink fantasy draft.
after the fantasy draft.
Oh.
So from that Sunday, it's 3
From
weeks.
sober to the 10th.
Yeah,
There's gonna be a
3 to
golf
1.
game in there.
Yeah.
3-1 odds.
I'm not
I know
taking
you're
it.
gonna be hitting me up fucking 10 o'clock
Wait,
at
I'm
night.
taking that
Hey,
you won't.
Let's go to
You're
the
saying
golf.
that I will.
Let's go
I'm
to
I'm
saying
saying
I
you're
won't.
gonna drink.
I'm saying I won't.
I'll take
But it's
that.
3-1
Hey,
odds. So if I throw in 100, you guys all got to throw in 100. And if you lose,
We'll talk off.
We'll talk.
We'll talk off podcast.
Well, it's off screen, but
Yeah.
you guys in?
No money.
Oh, I could get this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, that's
All right.
kind of a lock, but
All
I
right.
just didn't want to embarrass him.
I don't know.
Alright.
Baby Yates is gonna be crying a lot, dude.
hopefully
We
yes.
might need to slip one in there.
We'll talk about it. So thanks again for listening. Follow us on Instagram. We got shirts available still.
Check out the hats.
We got hats. The hats, check them out. They came out great. Instagram, Twitter. Follow along, like and subscribe on Apple. Write us a review. That's huge for us. And
Yeah, we needed reviews. We need more reviews.
we're having a damn blast doing it. So keep listening. Thanks again. We're out.
Later.